Hey, we're here.
It's gonna start soon. Hello.
I mean, we're live. Hi.
Yeah. No, I'm reading the chat.
Oh, okay. How we all doing? I see we do have some people here. Let me turn this down just a smidge.
I was gonna say you kind of need to turn that music
Oh yeah, no,
down.
it's distracting the hell out of me. I can't even think. Turn that down a little bit. That was me. It was not you. That was me. That was my computer.
Follow-up question: where's the music from?
I just put on Weather Channel Vaporwave Late Night 1992. Weather Channel Vaporwave Late Night 1992 VHS Nostalgic Mix. I just found this random bullshit on YouTube and I just put it on. So
Is this gonna be for the reading too?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
I wasn't sure what you were gonna use. You
no,
said you had something.
I've got this sort of dark ambient music thing.
Oh, that one again? Okay.
Yeah.
I know that one.
Put that on. Do you? It's also it's not what I usually use because I can't remember what the name of it is.
Oh, I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I have a lot of, and this will lead into the Q&A, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? This is partly how I write. Sorry.
Wow.
It's really loud.
What are you doing wrong?
But this is sort of how I write. Is when I really want to lock in, I'll put ambient tracks on. And so one of the things I do is specifically there's this really dark ambient soundscape producer on YouTube that I can't remember the goddamn name of. I've mentioned it before, can't remember it.
You'd have to hunt for it.
I like throwing that on, and it really gets me in the zone, and then I can really get into it and write. And so that's what I do. But I can't find it, so
Okay.
we're just gonna put something else on for reading Chapter 1.
Yeah.
The redux of Chapter 1.
Yeah. So for those not aware of what we're doing, we kind of mentioned it before in previous streams, and of course always in the Discord. Chapter 1, as it was originally written, was quick and dirty. It was pragmatic and meant to get the point across because we were not expecting to still be here doing this for 6 years.
Yeah. I wanted to make as little work as possible for myself, and at a certain point, I just realized, especially at the inclination of Morgan, that
You were putting too much time and effort into it.
as it is, I might as well put my whole pussy into
Yeah.
it and make something that I'm
It was
proud of, something that I'm actually like, this is something I can make,
Yeah.
right? Like, this is me when I go all out, or
Yeah.
at least actually try, because Chapter 1, I was just trying to get something
I don't
out.
think you even did an edit pass beyond grammar.
Probably not.
Because I don't think I started reading after you until roughly Jaeger. I think all of those you just drafted, and then
Jaeger was the last one where I did everything myself,
Yeah.
I think. And then after that, you sort of hopped in.
Yeah, I started doing some help with editing, and then Chapter 9 came along, and I wrote a lot of Chapter 9. She's gone. And
She's gone.
And so, like, yeah, I've been here since the beginning, and like I was kind of your bounce board that you were throwing spaghetti at.
Yeah, that's always helpful to have. If you have anyone who they don't even have to be your editor or anything like that. Just somebody who can listen to your fucking
And tells you when
ass
you're
ideas
being
or
stupid.
when you're doing rule for cool or when it's an actual good idea.
Yeah. So that's been my role, and then like slowly I've started doing more and more, and we reached a point where I'm like, okay, if I had been working with Cody on Chapter 1, how would I have pushed him to write the chapter? And so I rewrote the chapter. Almost entirely myself, based entirely on his first like pass.
A lot
but
of
you
it
came through and edited behind me.
A lot of it in the original, or a lot of it at the front end of it is roughly the same. There's just little flourishes, little tweaks here and there.
And then I wrote an entire
It's when, and you'll see it when we get to a certain spot, that Morgan decided, you know what, this should be embellished, and it should have been embellished. Perhaps Morgan embellished an extraordinary amount, but this is the first chapter. Maybe it should be about as long or as big as the final chapter, which, by the way, chapter 34, the finale, which is going to air tomorrow at 6 p.m., that's going to be about like an hour...
It's an hour 10, I think.
Hour 10, something like
29 pages, an hour 10. This is 32 pages. Because I'm just insane. 32 pages, and...
Yeah, that's actually longer.
And yeah.
That's actually longer.
Yeah, and so hopefully we'll be able to get it done in 2.5 hours. I think we will.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, so, I mean... sort of addressing what's being talked about. I've been trying to write for years, but just putting things out can be crippling.
oh my god.
Yeah. So my inclination was just to first put out the most bare bones shit possible. And that was the teaser video a lot of you have seen. Some of you have not seen because it's since been delisted. Intentionally, because it had spoilers in it. Which I kind of lied about after the fact, saying like, "Hey, you know what? Don't trust the concept video anymore because hey, things change." When in reality, almost nothing in the concept video changed. I just wanted you guys to think that, oh, maybe Cody changed.
A decent
certain
amount
things.
changed.
Some things
but
definitely
the
did.
Core, the core antagonist.
Yeah,
And
but-
of course...
That's all I wanted to do at first, right? I just put that out there and I'm like, hey, I got my idea on paper. I got it out in like this visual format. It's on YouTube. People can see it and they can be like, yeah, that's a neat idea. Whatever, I'll walk away from it.
Yeah.
So many, it exploded.
Yeah.
So it blew up and then there was enough interest that I was like, maybe I should write it. But I didn't want to just write it because I'm an actor. I like mixing audio. I like doing all of this shit. I like making art. What if I... And then I created the entire format and then got started that way.
You are gonna set yourself on fire. Put the fucking lighter down, Cody.
It's this isn't a fidget toy.
I know it's not a fidget toy, but like
this
you're...
is actual fire.
You can't fidget with that near your clothing.
It's called lying and it's fun.
It's called fire and it's wonderful, but it's also bloody hot.
It is
Oh my
bloody
god.
hot. It's how
You'll
hot
have
was
to-
it today?
It reached 104 last I looked.
104. Fuck.
I'm not looking up what that was in Celsius, but fucking hot.
You can look that up to see what that is in Celsius, because I'm not going to do the math.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do Euro math.
The pattern of the you-know-what in the teaser video, yes.
Yeah, so...
Tomorrow we
Can't-
will confirm what the pattern was.
This is the strand of hair I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
I mean, do you want me to cut it?
Yeah, no.
I'll do it on stream.
No. But the pattern, the pattern is... fuck you. I will talk about it tomorrow after it drops, after the finale drops. Everything, everything is going to be on the table after that. I'll talk about certain ideas that I had for how a lot of this was going to play out, and really I can talk about pretty much all of that. I've dropped a lot of that.
Yeah.
I was thinking I'm going to drop my notes, like my outlines for everything,
Oh my god.
and then you guys can read based on the outline that I had where I ended up, and you can see my sort of like process of how I built up a chapter from these chunks of like outline.
How
text.
insane his
This
notes
is so
look.
loud now.
Because for Ghost Ride the thing, saying I've been trying to write for years and it can be crippling. You can see how chaotic it is for Cody, and then like hopefully take a little inspiration for it. You just got to do it, and even if it doesn't make any sense at first. Because the thing about the first chapter is you put it out knowing it wasn't your best work.
Yeah.
You put it out just to get it out. And that's kind of how you have to go about sharing things, which I'm...
And it takes a while to learn this lesson because I had to learn it. And,
How old are you?
What?
How old are you?
I'm 40 years old, and I had to learn this lesson at like 30-something years old, like late 30s, is that something being out is better than it being in the workshop forever and never coming out. So you've got to just buckle up, get something done. It's never going to be up to your standard. I can promise you, you're always going to look back on it and be like, God, fuck, why didn't I do it like this? Why didn't I do it like that?
Oh, God, yeah.
So you can't let that paralyze you from actually releasing the things that you've been working on.
Yeah.
It's a hard lesson to learn. You're probably going to want to be like, oh, but I can sit on it just a little bit longer and tweak it and perfect it and make it... Yeah, and you can.
Yeah.
You can, but eventually you're going to have to learn the lesson that it's got to come out now.
Yeah.
It has to come out now.
Done is better than perfect, I believe the saying goes. And honestly, this rewrite, this live reading of a rewrite could also serve, because once this is over, we finish live reading everything. We might do some extra questions, depending on how much time is at the end.
That's the question. Do we do the Q&A like first, or I think we do that?
I think we do a little bit at the beginning. We'll get started here in a couple minutes, and then...
But I think the heft of it should be at the end, where there's like more people probably. Having lined up.
But after that's through, at 10 o'clock, we will hopefully end stream on time and go straight into the marathon. That will lead into tomorrow's premiere, and you will get to see back-to-back the difference between a rewritten Chapter 1 of The Lighted Stage and what it was originally. And hopefully that'll help you understand, like, after 6 years, this is where it went. Because this is all written with a lot of perspective on where the story ended up going, which Cody hadn't figured out at the time, because so much of it was written... what's the phrase? Flying by the seat of your pants?
Yeah.
Q&A for the end. Will there be a sequel to The Lighted Stage or not? If you're in the Discord server, you will already know the answer. We've also talked about it on stream.
A little correction. We actually have to launch the marathon at 10:30.
10:30. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I had more time than I thought.
I had to redo my math just a little bit.
Okay, yeah, no,
But yeah, no, 10:30.
No, I'm done.
10:30.
So, yeah.
Okay,
fuck,
so let's
6 years.
Yeah, go back to...
It's like April... I put this on Blue Sky earlier.
Yeah,
April to 2020 to now.
To now. So that's, from April 2020. 6 years. I had thought / hoped that I would have been able to get it done in 5.
I remember at one point you were like, yeah, I'll just get it done in 9 chapters, and my ass sitting here thinking about all of the ideas he was telling me over the last year.
So much would have to be glossed over and
what
like...
the fuck are you talking
that's
about?
Not gonna
9
work.
chapters.
That's not gonna work. So, yeah. Okay, so the Q&A for the end thing. The question. Should we address that? Because there's not going to be a lot of people who come to this live stream.
Honestly, if you are asking that and you're not a part of the Discord and you've never watched a stream before, just stick around at the end of tomorrow's premiere. And that's
I guess, that's your answer. That's your answer.
That's the answer.
People in the Discord might know a little bit more.
Yeah.
For now, that's the answer.
Otherwise, the only thing I wanted to say, since I wrote most of this, of course, all the good shit, attribute to Cody. All the things that suck, attribute to me. The biggest thing that I regret not pushing for, and it's in this rewrite, is insisting that Cody have the Polaroids left behind. Because so much, and we're gonna burst into spoilers here, hopefully. The Square Biz Killer.
Polaroids.
The Square Biz Polaroids. The whole purpose, right, is the fact that he wants to send a message to the world. It is his art that he is trying to share. Well, not really share, but like thrust into the universe.
Share is fine.
It's
share.
So the fact that the Polaroids were not left behind and instead kept in a scrapbook, in this rewrite, you will notice the Polaroids are there. Because that's how I would have had.
So my original philosophy / thought behind it was that, these are just practice, right? He's perfecting his art until he can get to his magnum opus, his ultimate subject, which he discovers being Jasmine. And then when he shows Jasmine's corpse to the world. When he'll
Yeah, you never expressed that though. Okay. Now my fidget's gone.
GG. But yeah, that was my original thought. There were some things that sort of fell down the wayside. Little bits of information I didn't fully get to share.
Yeah. But that was a thing that, and funny enough, you sit here and talking about the other girls being the first draft, and of course I'm kind of trudging my way through elaborating on the details of the victims before Jazz.
Yeah, Morgan's writing a whole fanfic of a fanfic. Essentially.
I don't know if it'll come out before the chapter like I wanted it to, but it'll be out there eventually, and I've put too much work into it at this point. But I literally address the timeline for how Weston gets to the point of where we meet him. But other than that, I guess we are at a point where we should probably start... Cut the music. Don't even fade out.
No.
All right. So we will try and do this read through all the way through. There might be some
Has anyone actually
breaks
made
and
it to
shit for us. Getting up, getting coffee, you guys, encouraging you guys to get drinks. Probably some interruptions here and there.
Interruptions, especially from ads, because
Yeah.
look, I tried to download uBlock and then my videos just wouldn't be playing.
I mean, you could try my browser now, but
It's
too late.
It's too late.
It's too late. I mean, the other option is
No,
you
I
can
can
throw me the
actually do
link
that.
and I can
No, I can do that.
play
I can,
it from
I
my
can,
laptop and it'll be super background.
I'll play it from yours.
Okay. And if it doesn't work, then...
There we go.
Okay, cool.
Yep. It
So
should be
hopefully
coming through.
that ad block should work then. Otherwise,
Seems that way.
if you guys are reacting in chat, we might not say anything until the end. But please feel free to leave reactions in the chat because we will go back and read this as well. And this will be live
There it is.
on YouTube as the VOD.
Oh, yeah, and what I'm going to do is when we're done with this Q&A, read through all that stuff, when we're about to launch into the final, the marathon into the finale, I am going to cut the stream and start it all over again. So just keep your... I'll explain that again, but keep your tuckuses seated if you want to watch the marathon. I do not suggest staying up
No.
for the entire time to watch the marathon because it is 19 hours and
forget how many minutes.
29 minutes. It is 19 and a half hours. So I don't expect anyone to stick around for that.
Yeah. We will periodically pop into the live chat just for shits and giggles and say hi to anyone who is hanging out.
If there's anyone hanging out.
If there is anyone hanging out. But it's kind of just a novelty. So, but you can set it in the background and let it
but then I'll have
be your sleep music.
I'll have a separate VOD on the channel that it's going to be the entirety of the lighted stage sans. Yeah. Well, no, not playlist. The entirety of the lighted stage sans the final chapter.
Oh.
As the live stream, the marathon live stream.
Right,
It'll
right,
just
right.
be a VOD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so all of
That's
your
why I'm cutting it that way.
Yeah.
I'm ending the stream and restarting it.
and all of your chats during that will be available to view too. So.
Jester says that I'm tempted to stay up through the whole thing. Yeah, don't.
Please don't.
Don't.
You can keep it on, but
You're
please let
going
yourself
to
sleep.
destroy your circadian rhythm. You want to get started?
I am ready when you are.
Read the notes.
Oh, okay. I'll read them. The Lighted Stage was written in 2020 as a pandemic project based on a conceptual JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fan part developed in 2018. The project was never intended to expand beyond a handful of breezy chapters for the planned story, and as such, its early chapters were written with pragmatism in mind. This is an effort to fill in the gaps of information that were originally neglected. Minor changes have been made with this rewrite, but it is fundamentally the same series of events written to be more in line with the rest of the series' style.
Chapter 1. Pose for the camera, JoJo. All eyes are on you. San Francisco, 1967. As the country is fractured between war and peace, so too is the city. celebrating love in the summer and besieged by a nefarious butcher having claimed 6 victims in the span of 18 months. Dubbed the Square Biz Killer for the evidence left behind with the bodies upon their discovery, or rather, what they were left without. This mysterious murderer had not only evaded capture but defied all reasonable logic and sense, as their victims were left mutilated, seemingly beyond human influence. Like the rightful place for a square peg in a child's toy, the casualties were found with perfectly perpendicular edges carved from their bodies, and in place of the poor soul's missing remains would lay the very such thing for which this villain was named. A square photograph depicting what could only be their last moment alive as they stare forward in agony. And although the public's attention remains enraptured by this sensational coverage, chasing the rush that comes with each new story, crafting theories in the wake of each body and the anticipation of the next, they remain far removed from the terrible misfortune as mere spectators to the pain. A captive audience, distracted by their living thriller. It is in that diversion, under the cover of night, that the bone-chilling cry of yet another woman erupts from an alleyway that is subjected to unfathomable horrors. Holy shit. That scream was really loud.
You're welcome.
It blew my ears out.
Sorry.
Her screams, you want to do that again?
No.
There it is. Her screams are muffled by the cacophony of city life, blood spilt and stained upon dusty concrete. Her body, or what is left, crumples to the ground amongst the refuse and garbage in an instant under a white-hot burst. The odd flash of light in the alley, just another twinkle in the brilliant luminescence of Market Street. In the morning, she would be discovered with a telltale Polaroid photograph depicting a face twisted in agony among the gruesome aftermath of her slaying. I can read.
Yes.
I read for a living, believe it or not. Her body would not even reach the autopsy table before headlines are printed about the 7th victim, and some muckraker will steal a shot from the scene of the crime, selling it as an exclusive to the highest bidder. Tabloids will print issue after issue of the grainy image until it is even more unrecognizable than the body itself. Photocopies of photocopies. And police stations will be swarmed by media calls, demanding answers and information and details. There will be no reverence for the dead, no lamentations or sorrow, only the buzzing excitement for their favorite story's new chapter. So there upon the ground, in the quietest moments before daybreak, the poor woman's place of final rest is made in the teeming pool of her own blood. Hardly much of a lighted stage.
Fuck you, quick quake.
Fuck you, quick quack, do quack.
By the way, drinking game. Drink every time it's gay.
Drink every time it's gay. Yeah, you'll have to drink like light beer. Drink light beer or else you die.
Alrighty then.
I swear, man, I didn't do that to her. A brusque voice disavows, the chains cuffed to his wrist rattling in time with his protestations. The young Chicano is stared down by 2 middle-aged detectives looking more like a classic vaudeville duo a la Laurel and Hardy, than Boys in Blue. The lead detective, a squat fellow with red and white pustules covering his face, struggles to make himself more imposing by leaning into the table, but his width keeps him from getting too close to his suspect to be intimidating enough. We'll do all the sound. No. The other detective, a tall and somewhat younger-looking man with long legs and rounded shoulders, tosses a folder down in front of their suspect with 2 Polaroids clipped to the file, one depicting a beaten and bloodied woman and the other, a green Maserati. That surely does 185. You're Manny Flores, aren't you? The lanky officer asks with a sneer. The young man winces as he's shown the photo again and looks away, stomach turning at the sight of the long-departed maiden's final picture. Her face, marred by a vengeful brutalization wrought on her, twisted in furious pain in what must have been mere seconds before her ultimate demise. I already told you, yeah? That is my car, fool. But I let her have it when she dumped me. I haven't touched the thing in a year. Is this the fat one?
Yeah,
That's
the
the fat one.
Pretty girls like her, them guys like you all the time. Especially high-profile models who can get their hands on anything they want.
The rotund investigator sitting across from him insisted, emphasizing each point with his sausage-like fingers straight down on the page.
What would she get out of taking a car away from you?
Manny shifts angrily in his seat and snaps.
I fucked around, all right?
We weren't even that serious. I hooked up with a few other chicks. She found out and busted my balls over it. She took the car, so I figured, whatever, dig? It was like an apology or something. I swear, that's fucking it in a story. Leaned up against the wall, the taller man snickers sardonically. Sometimes I gotta, be like, wow, what's the voice? What's
Don
the voice?
Knotts.
Don Knotts, that's right. Not every day some kid from the street goes around two-timing superstars, he observes. His superior nods in agreement, glaring down the accused with intensity.
All you did is just describe motive, hombre. So you better start talking some real sense before you make yourself look even guiltier.
Sweat beads down the accused's face as he searches desperately for what he can possibly say or do to prove the truth of his innocence, when the answer to his prayers arrives in the form of the interrogation room door crashing onto the ceramic tile with a swift kick from a pair of leather boots. Hey! The yes man interjects, turning toward the opening in the wall beside him. That door's supposed to be locked. What the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing, punk? Two individuals, a man and a woman of roughly equal age, walk into the room with confidence, the pair of leather boots that had given them entry taking the lead. Give me 1 second, I need some coffee. Yes.
You also need water. Next time I get up, I will grab that for you.
Sure, that'd be great. Officer McDonald and Officer King, by the way, yes.
Yes. Somehow I managed to get by editing this, and I didn't slip in their names.
Oh, yeah? Well, hold on. I gotta get in character.
Oh, you gotta get in character. Right. You're gonna hate yourself for, see how long you can last.
Yeah. Now, where was I? Despite being dressed as if he should be the one, despite being dressed as if he should be the one handcuffed and questioned, with his greased-up ginger pompadour and matching horsehide jacket, the man commands the room with an imposing air. Looking like he'd missed the mark by a decade, the greaser flashes his professional credentials in the form of a government badge. When he opens his mouth to address the room, his voice is notably characterized by years of smoking.
Step down, pigs. We're with the fucking CIA.
Yeah, and then his voice cracks sometimes.
Step down!
The fat detective launches himself from the table and confronts the interloper, his chair clattering and falling to the ground from the sudden eruption of movement.
We're seconds away from closing this case. You got a lot of nerve waltzing in here, breaking our door and making those kind of demands.
The man cracks his knuckles, as if preparing for a fight, a sneer curling at the edge of his lips as he looks down at the local law enforcer.
Yeah, and I'll break your nose next.
Establishing her own presence, the young woman wedges herself in between the two grown men before her partner can make good on his promise.
Pump the brakes, Calvin.
Her hair is styled in a tousled blonde bob. She stands, her hair styled in a tousled tousled blonde bob. She stands in stark contrast to the punk she addressed with her formal button-up blouse and neatly pressed slacks. But despite being easily overlooked in favor of the rambunctious redhead, she asserts herself as an equally formidable foe while flashing her own badge, an intense, smoky gaze directed to the detective standing in her way.
We are agents Jasmine Joplin and Calvin James from the CIA. Our presence here is just a formality to inform you that your investigation is over,
she remarks.
Oh!
How do you do that?
Over!
The detective shouts.
Shows what you know. We were in the middle of a fucking confession until you showed up.
The man she had introduced as Calvin raises an eyebrow, the nick of a scar that crosses it following the gesture.
That's...
Wow!
That's...
Hold on.
That's so...
Got it. He and his female... You see, Calvin requires a lot of takes because my voice cracks when I try and do him sometimes. If I do him first thing in the morning...
Perfect.
But sometimes I can do it
8:00 at night.
easy peasy at night, but no, not this time. He and his female counterpart exchange equally unimpressed expressions.
Yes. It sounded like you were continuing, and I was trying to find the place. I'm like, what? Where's the end of the sentence? That was in a period. Unimpressed expressions. All right, then.
His blonde companion begins.
I suppose we can humor you a little. I propose a small questionnaire.
Jasmine holds up a single finger.
But I guess it's just one question, really. Give me a good answer, and Calvin here won't collapse your face. Dig it?
The mere suggestion seemed to assuage some of the anger the redhead had worked up, yet the portly officer laughs in his face all the same.
I'd like to see him try, but sure. What you want to know about our square biz killer here?
The woman smiles with a dark confidence as she asks,
Why bring in a suspect associated with a victim 3 bodies ago when he's got no connection to any Vic before or after? You've got 10 seconds.
Jasmine fans out both of her hands and lowers one finger for every second that passes, relishing in the room's tension as their suspect watches his captors squirm under her gaze to find an acceptable answer. As she continues her countdown, Calvin shifts and pulls out a flask of some unknown alcohol from the inside of his jacket. He takes a long swig, prompting the fat detective to object and evade his own line of questioning.
Hey, drinking on duty. I'll have your job for that. You think you can get away with...
Calvin finishes his drink in the time the belligerent detective took to argue and interrupts him with a long sigh. His eyes glaze over momentarily, held tension releasing from his body as his shoulders relax, and then suddenly, as if by magic, that haze of alcohol seems to transfer into his rotund opponent. The detective's words become slurred as he stumbles back to the table and attempts to continue his threat, on the supposed spy's career.
Get away with what the hell? What's happening? Am I drunk?
Oh yeah? You'd be a better ventriloquist than a cop talking out of both sides of your mouth like that asshole. Calvin chuckles. That's a chuckle, by the way. Oh yeah. Maybe the chuckle's right there.
Yeah.
He indicates to his partner with a quick flick of his head. Better hurry up and give us an answer. Only got a few seconds left.
Sure enough.
There we go. Sure enough, Jasmine had continued counting down and was now holding up one hand's worth of digits.
Need me to ask again?
She offers, pausing as she curls her thumb in to provide the officer with the prompt.
Why is your suspect not associated with any other victims?
Furious at the audacity of the intruders on his case, the sloshed cop spits back.
It's because he's a fucking slur.
I was gonna say, this chapter is how many slurs can I have Cody say?
Anyway.
It's only 2.
It's only 2. It's only 2 slurs.
It's only 1.
It's only 1. It's only
Yeah, we call Alexa a red and a commie, but those are...
That's not a slur.
Those aren't slurs.
Unlike one weird YouTube
unlike
comment.
that one weird YouTube comment, yeah.
Anyway. For some reason, I feel better saying that having recorded it and then putting it out there as opposed to doing it live.
Yeah. No.
Live feels wrong.
Yeah.
The words that had simply flowed from his mouth, bypassing any filter the cop had previously, echoed throughout the room and down the hall beyond the open door. It was as if his calculating and dogged persona was dismantled, and everyone was now witness to the insidious villain underneath. Instinctively, the fat detective threw his hands on top of his mouth, but it was far too late. Why you protecting your mouth, pal? Calvin wonders with a satisfied smirk, cracking his knuckles once more. Can't do it.
Your nose is wide open.
This time, Jasmine does not intervene. And
All
it's
right.
time
And
to put the
that's-
jacket away.
I can't believe you did that whole scene in that jacket.
Step off.
You gonna go get coffee?
Get more coffee.
All right.
Get some water. Anyone still here?
Hey guys, checking in. Did you get water? Take a bathroom break. I had something I was gonna mention earlier. Oh, yeah, I can only imagine because I've lived with Cody for many, many years, and I kind of don't think much of it anymore. I can only imagine how exciting it is to watch Cody actually do the voice acting live, because he has a very fun way of using expressions to kind of guide his voice and
Oh, is it my
some of the
face?
physicality. Yeah, it's your face.
All people are noticing my face?
Well, I just,
Yeah.
you have a very specific face that you do with, Officer McDonald specifically.
Yeah.
And it's very fun to watch you flip back and forth. I'm used to it. I'm sure the audience is enjoying that.
Oh yeah, and in regards to, that's why I respect this project. You aren't afraid to actually write people with different lives and perspectives. Makes for better scenes and interactions. I'm definitely not going to be dropping like big time slurs.
Yeah.
But I am absolutely going to portray like racism and
Yeah.
something like that. But
It's-
I try and do it in a better way than maybe like Araki does, because
Yeah.
the amount of times a character is like sexually assaulted, and like that's just, oh, that's the end all be all of it, is like, god damn. You could at least use the opportunity to say something.
I don't know, maybe sexual assault shouldn't be used as like flavor and more like
Shouldn't there be like some moral consequences
Yeah.
throughout the story? Anyway, continuing.
Yes. Manny?
First off, I kind of want to hop over here and
Yeah.
pick a different track.
Cool.
Because this is just whoosh,
Yeah. It had a few moments where it was like really fucking on the
Right?
note, right?
yeah. And that's something else.
Oh, also that preamble before, the cold open, essentially, that line that you added. Hardly a lighted stage. That's entirely Cody. I didn't do that one. I'm not taking credit for that shit.
That's bad. That was bad. Hardly
That was you.
a lighted stage. People do get retired a lot in JoJo's, to be fair. I suppose, but I have my own criticisms.
For later.
Oh yeah,
If at all.
If at all. Let's move along.
Manny?
Thanks for getting me out of there, Manny says graciously to his saviors. Jasmine smiles and indicates to the partner beside her.
Thank him. He's the one who decided to bust in after we delivered the message to the captain.
She admits.
The
Cal-
music's a little loud.
The music's a little loud, just in general, I think.
Yeah.
Let's turn it down a smidge.
Sorry.
There we go. Now where am I?
Calvin ignores them.
Kelvin ignores them, looking down the street for their ride as he pulls a cigarette from the pocket in his jacket and lights up. Either way, the young Chicano says, realizing that he wouldn't be acknowledged by the punkish bruiser. He wouldn't be acknowledged by the prunket. The young Chicano says, realizing that he wouldn't be acknowledged by the punkish bruiser. Never thought I'd be in the depth of the depth. Never thought I'd be in the debt to the Federales. Yeah, well, get out of here before you get marked again, would you? The redhead grumbles, turning his back on the unfortunate youth and heading toward an unsuspecting ivory 65 Lincoln Continental that had just parked down the street. I'm not gonna go out of my way for some kid. I'm not gonna go out of my way for some kid loitering outside the cop shop. I don't know why I'm having trouble with this, but hey,
It's okay.
sometimes that happens.
Yeah, we didn't warm up, so
No.
you're just kind of going into it.
Yeah. Okay. Jasmine follows her partner with a final wave to the young man before sliding into the back seat of the car next to Calvin.
That's Calvin.
Is that Calvin?
Yeah, that's Calvin and Mickey.
Let's get going, the agent grumbles to their wild-haired chauffeur as he reaches over the front passenger seat to grab a green leather suitcase that he pushes into his female companion's arms. The driver looks back at them through the mirror with a smirk, making eye contact with the obvious man in charge. We good, or did you want to pop in somewhere else for another heroic detour? Can it, Mickey? Calvin growls in a warning tone. Their attendant gives another silent laugh before shifting the car into drive and pulling back into traffic. Give me one sec, this is loud again.
Yeah, I don't know why it's leveled like this.
Annoying.
Does it thing you do with your hand help you with voices too, or is it just something you do? It's specifically for Calvin.
It's with Calvin. I put just a bit of pressure right here, and for some reason that like braces my vocal cords in such a way that it cracks less. But that doesn't prevent it from cracking.
No.
It's only when I go low. I can go high all I want, and it's just fine and dandy.
Yeah.
But when I go low, there's certain things that I do that this sort of helps brace it. It's kind of weird. It's a bit of a crutch. I don't want to rely on it a lot, but sometimes I have to.
Yeah.
With voices like Calvin, I kind of have to.
At this point, it's also just a tick.
Yeah.
For him.
It's half
It's
subconscious
just
now.
instinctive.
Yeah.
All right. Getting right to business.
Getting right to business and dressing down out of her button-up blouse, Jasmine begins performing a backstage quick change into an oddly hip dress next to her partner, slipping out of her flared denim and into a pair of thick white tights. She poses an apparently inappropriate question.
So then, was that your classified secret in action?
Kelvin doesn't react, clearly uncomfortable with the conversation. He keeps his vacant gaze firmly pointed through the door window, minding Jasmine's privacy. Although it could very well have been that he wasn't even particularly interested in his partner's physical appearance or womanly features. It was impossible to tell. He was a hard read, and the younger investigator prided herself upon her personal intuition. One thing was certain nonetheless, and that was that he certainly did mind her incessant nosiness. You know the drill, Jazz. She rolls her eyes, not out of frustration from his brutish response, but rather the predictability of it.
I know. I just never saw it in person until now.
You didn't see shit, he snaps. And she picks up on his meaning immediately. He wasn't referring to classified intel that went beyond her clearance. He meant it, literally. Whatever it was that happened in that interrogation room.
You okay?
Yeah. Whatever it was that had happened in that interrogation room. She could only be sure of two things. What she witnessed was more elusive than a magician's sleight of hand, and, more importantly, she would never get an explanation out of her superior. Off screen a little bit. Jasmine had only known Calvin for about a month as he prepared her for this mission. Cold
Guess who
reading.
wrote this?
Not me. But with how distant he kept himself, it felt more like she'd known him for a few hours. They had first met at the Capitol, along with a small group of other female operatives being profiled and photographed for this job's peculiar casting call. It was a brief interaction, barely an introduction as he interrogated her background with only a flicker of eye contact, but the real impact of the meaning came from the word around the office. Calvin James was a mystery within an organization dedicated to mysteries, as no one quite understood where he fit into the greater picture of the CIA. As a former punk-turned-elite special agent, nothing about him quite clicked with the type known for being involved in foreign intelligence, so the fact that he was overseeing this enigmatic operation was quite the hot topic of water-cooler conversation. After a lengthy process and after a lengthy sentence of interviews...
You could have edited this more. That's on you.
I could have. After a lengthy process of interviews and countless photo shoots building extensive fake modeling portfolios, Jasmine was hand-selected out of the potential candidates for the job. It was then that she first sat down to speak with him one-on-one in a cramped, windowless office space not unlike the interrogation room they had just broken into.
Tell me what you know about the Square Biz Killer,
he asked without preamble, sitting on the corner of the table where she was seated.
The San Francisco killer?
She responded, her eyebrow raised.
the very one.
He slid a folder toward her, but she began answering before even looking it over.
6 victims, all women aged between 18 and 23 and employed through the fashion empire Maison. Remains of a 7th victim were discovered 2 nights ago, suspected to be Karine Carpenter, but not yet confirmed. The crime scenes are characterized by the Polaroid left behind with the corpse, which is significant in that it's been carved with missing perfect right-angle pieces. Cause of death has been impossible to determine due to the limited amount of physical evidence to go by.
There was a microsecond of expression that crossed his face as she finished rattling off the case's summary, but before she could even process the sight to determine its meaning, it vanished.
You've done your homework.
It's national news.
Jasmine shrugged, tumbling through the file with feigned disinterest.
So it's true then. This whole thing is about the Square Biz Killer?
He nodded, putting out his cigarette in the ashtray behind him.
Next month is the 10-year anniversary of Maison's first publication,
Kelvin explained.
In a couple weeks, they'll be having an all-hands-on-deck party, and we have it on good authority that our killer should be there, scouting out his next prey. Top to bottom, you fit the exact profile for this guy's M.O., and Ashton Upman himself picked you out of all the agents we submitted to be his next model. So that's the job. You'll be the bait while I'm on the lookout for our killer.
The young blonde crossed her arms, unfazed by the proposition, but deeply suspicious of how the CIA fit into this picture.
But why are we even involved? Why not the FBI?
She interjected. Kelvin ran his hand through the back of his hair with a heavy sigh.
Not a question you should be asking, kid.
After staring him down through narrowed, scrutinizing eyes, Jasmine gave a sigh of her own and held out her hand.
It's Jazz.
She offered. Pardon me, hold on.
This is good practice for you, quite honestly, because you've got a thing you're probably going to record near the end of the year in this voice, so...
That's true.
Yeah.
I have to keep at it.
Yup.
As well as, where am I? Hold on. Hold on.
She offered him from that moment on.
Yeah, from that moment on. Where's that moment on? Oh, really? Wow. She offered, and from that moment on, their one-sided partnership began. The next 2 weeks leading up to this moment on their way to Maison's anniversary gala were spent in various briefings about the company's history and staff, as well as general training on the fashion industry to ensure that her infiltration into the modeling world would appear perfectly seamless. Pardon all the plosives. Their vehicle passes by a street blocked off to traffic, beyond which are thousands of flower children flooding the neighborhood to attend a hippie rock concert in Strawberry Hill. With the agent's path blocked, the chauffeur takes an alternate route that leads them away from the festivities. A grimace falls on Calvin's already ill-tempered face.
You got hippies fucking in the street at noon and some butcher out there chopping them up at midnight. Even if we scare the pigs to get in line, their sheer fucking incompetence still gets in the way.
Applying the finishing touches to her face with a pale pink lip stain, Jasmine snaps shut the clamshell makeup kit she was using and stows it in a thin-strapped purse. In the tight space behind the driver, she showcases both her new sunlight yellow outfit, as well as her vibrant confidence with effortless ease, just as she had been trained.
Well, do I look ready for the front page? I've been working on my pose.
Ignoring her entirely, he glances down at his wristwatch and sighs.
I guess this is what women call being fashionably late.
Jasmine scoffs, giving him yet another eye roll as she points out.
I'm not the one that decided to waltz into that interrogation room, you know.
I just decided it was better to get it over with and to give you the chance to do it yourself.
Than to give it...
Than to
give you the chance to do it yourself.
He's trying to pretend like he didn't want to do it in the first place.
I know. I just decided it was better to get it over with than to give you the chance to do it yourself. He insists half-heartedly, and she hides her smile to avoid further argument. He might have been hard to read most times, but this was not one of them. The sun dips behind a sleek Art Deco skyscraper, blinding the agents in their inconspicuous transport momentarily as they roll up behind the line of vehicles queued outside the home of their targeted destination. Maison. Upon the red carpet leading into its gilded doors, paparazzi snap their exclusive photos and reporters demand commentary from each and every person approaching the extravagant affair within. Calvin exits first and immediately assumes his role as Jasmine's entourage, offering his hand to assist her out and into the spotlight. She pauses, hesitating for a moment before taking that first step into this foreign world of glitz and glam. She contemplates the morbid reality of her undercover mission softly, more to herself than to her aloof companion. Yes, that's a word.
Yep. Can you really believe her killer is somewhere in there?
The explosion of a dozen camera lights does not allow her thoughts to linger. However, as she is immediately thrust center stage on her way into the heart of Maison, exuberant voices ring out in disharmonic unison, shouting praises at the newly christened supermodel.
You're gorgeous, Jojo! Come on, let us in on the pose you used for the issue.
The camera loves you! How excited are you to be Maison's 10th anniversary on 10th anniversary?
You wrote these lines!
How excited are you to be Maison's 10th anniversary cover? Jasmine gives her audience what they want and strikes the I know, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, I wrote this like 6 years ago.
I know!
And I haven't listened to this chapter for a long time. It's been kind of cringe. So.
Everybody breathing?
Yeah. Jasmine gives her audience what they want and strikes the pose she's been practicing. There is an uproar as the crowd goes wild. Their camera flashes nearly as bright as the sun when she is suddenly overcome with a feeling of panic tightening in her chest. I read for a living.
Yep.
All of her rehearsals back at headquarters could never have prepared her for the sheer amount of attention she was now receiving all at once. And, under the unprecedented leering of hundreds, the color from her skin pales. This is significantly different from the original chapter.
Now it is, yeah.
Now it is.
Yeah.
Boom. Grounding herself by hiding behind the sunglasses atop her brow, which she hisses between her teeth to her personal chaperone.
Get me out of here.
Calvin wordlessly takes her by the arm, ushering her forward through the demanding crowd, and as they pass through the intense security within the lobby, he finally takes notice of the abrupt shift in her demeanor. When they are guided down a hall toward the ballroom where the main event loudly roars behind the two enormous wooden doors, he asks her out of earshot of their escort. He asks her out of earshot of their escort in whispered condensation. Condensation?
Yes.
Like this?
Yes.
Condescension. I know words. Oh my god.
Man, I told you. You should have edited more.
No, the problem right now is less the editing and more I needed to read this through a couple more times.
At least out loud to yourself.
Out loud to myself.
Yeah.
Because, that's why I'm flubbing.
This is one thing that we tell voice actors and writers all the time.
Learn how to cold read.
Read out loud.
Learn how to cold read. Read out loud. I'm doing a piss poor job of cold reading right now, too.
It's okay.
But, that happens.
It's to be expected.
Thought you could handle this, JoJo. She grits her teeth, unwilling to appear as weak as she felt before the senior officer, and pushes her sunglasses back into place atop her head.
It was just hard to see out there is all. I've got this.
He scoffs, but doesn't give her any more grief as they are welcomed inside by attendants who lock the entry into the main hall securely back in place behind them.
The massive theater inside complements the Art Deco flair of the exterior, resembling the smoky lounge of a high-end hotel from days gone by. As expected, the notorious magazine's founder's tastes are refined, if not dated.
That's a line you wrote.
That's a line I wrote. I shouldn't have stumbled over it.
Magazine founders' tastes are refined.
If not dated. Despite stepping into the tower for respite, Jasmine has far from escaped the eyes of adoration. The two undercover agents are promptly accosted by a disheveled photographer in a Hawaiian shirt and brown corduroy blazer without warning. Before she can even turn to meet him, he excitedly snaps a candid photo of the new model.
Nice!
Oh,
Jasmine exclaims in surprise. Calvin tensing beside her as he assesses the suspect, a natural and successive presentation as her contracted bodyguard. The slobbish photographer offers a short apology under the redhead's glare and introduces himself with a sheepish chuckle.
No, sorry about that. I'm Kurt Duffy, one of the in-house photographers here at Maison.
Jasmine fights the urge to recoil from the intense scent of cheap cologne wafting from the pushy photographer. She nods with the slightest possible curtsy of acknowledgement.
nice to meet you, Mr. Duffy. Jojo, obviously.
He laughs, calling attention to the camera in his hands as it...
Shifting.
He laughs, shifting his attention to the camera in his hands as it's... How the fuck did I do that? He laughs, shifting his attention to the camera in his hands as it spits out his developing photo.
Oh, everyone here just calls me Duffy, but if you want it, I might be okay with a cutie like you calling me Kurt.
That's a line you added.
I added that. The brazen way he holds the square piece of equipment is startling, all things considered, and Jasmine's investigative instincts take over.
Is that a Polaroid camera?
She asks, failing to hide her suspicion. Duffy's face twists in a sour cocktail of expressions as he catches on to the subtext of her question.
Oh, yeah, I guess these things have a bad rap now, huh? Especially around here.
He lifts up the print up between two fingers to show her the image nonetheless.
Still, they're the best thing to... Fuck, man. Hold on. Not yet. Still, they're the best thing for a quick and dirty candidates like this. For quick and dirty candidates like this. I just wanted to get one genuine shot of the new girl before all the limelight biz. It's all staged from here, right?
I'm doing good, man. The photo is an impressive one, showing a strikingly vulnerable and honest side of the blonde beauty tucking some hair behind her ear as she gazes out into the party with a look of restored self-assurance. She recalls the profile she'd been given of Kurt Duffy in her early briefings.
Hold on.
Before Maison, he was an independent art photographer doing regular galleries across the West Coast. He specializes in the real artsy-fartsy shit. Pretty girls and pretty scenes or whatever.
Calvin had explained.
He's got a history of being a bit of a womanizer, so lay on the charm and he'll probably roll right over.
Jasmine took the advice to heart.
Wow.
She admits, lightly fluttering her eyelashes for effect.
Even with that thing, you're as good as they say.
He beams proudly, readjusting his posture like a proud rooster before showing off his plumage.
More where that came from, baby.
He promises, handing her the Polaroid with a wink.
Go on and yeah, right. Go on, you can keep it. That gives me an excuse to catch you around, yeah?
She takes the photo with the best flirtatious smile she can muster, waving a small goodbye to him as he pauses and saunters. Pauses doesn't make sense.
No.
As he passes and saunters over to the sentries guarding the door. She watches him strike up conversation, snatching a glass of whiskey on the rocks one of them was apparently holding for him before feeling Calvin's harsh stare on the back of her head.
What?
She snaps, pocketing the photo in the small purse slung over her shoulder as casually as possible. He places a firm hand on her arm and guides her across the room, using the noise of the live bands to cover the sound of their conversation.
How many times do I have to remind you to play your part?
Jasmine keeps her own voice low as she argues.
Do you want me to blend in or not? I can't exactly avoid small talk.
He takes a drink from a passing waiter's tray, inspecting it first before handing it to her, and taking one for himself.
You're not You're not an investigator here, Jazz. Don't go asking questions you don't have to. Smile, take pictures, flirt, all of that. But stop shoving your goddamn nose where it doesn't belong.
Don't know how you expect to figure anything out just by standing back and watching.
Trust me, I'll know it when I see it. You just stick your neck out, and I'll stop the guillotine before the blade falls. Now do your job.
Frustrated, she takes the champagne flute and tosses it back like a shot before turning on her heel and into the fray to mingle among the targets. Tangents. Why would tangents be the word? To mingle among the targets she had been primed to engage
I feel
with.
like I'm torturing you.
Oh man, it's just hot as balls.
Do you want fan? Do you want extra fan?
Oh shit, dog, I forgot about these. Oh shit, I forgot about these puppies. I don't know if that's gonna help much, but...
Probably not, but it's there.
Okay. As she searches the equally familiar and unfamiliar faces, Calvin observes her conspicuous glances about the room during the small conversations she has with various partygoers, and groans. Hold on.
That's Mickey.
Yeah, I'm trying to...
Okay.
How's it going? A voice buzzes in his ear.
That dumb bitch is looking more suspicious than the killer, he mutters. If he doesn't do her in, I might.
The voice chuckles. That bad, huh? Calvin's eyes narrow as he watches Jasmine catch the attention of someone in the crowd. As he realizes just who she is about to make contact with, he grumbles.
We really should have just used Morgan for this.
Yeah, well, you know how these things work, Cal. Sleepers are better for this kind of thing.
Not when they're... not when they're damn nosy greenhorns like this.
While Jasmine's general behavior remains mostly in line with her Mega Man. While Jasmine's general behavior remains mostly in line with her role as a fresh-faced model thrust into the larger fashion world in the midst of a sensational thriller, her micro-expressions are still detectable by a trained eye. And sure enough, it is this behavior that catches the undivided attention of a voluptuous raven-haired model from across the room.
Drink every time it's gay.
Drink every time it's gay. Start now.
I mean, some people would start with Mickey. Are you seriously? You can barely make it through. Sober.
Downing the rest of her cocktail and excusing herself from an uninteresting conversation, the woman slides next to Jasmine, catching her off guard.
Nervous?
The mysterious femme fatale wonders aloud in a strange accent.
You look a little nervous.
Jasmine's eyes meet a pair of stunning baby blues, and despite having known this time would inevitably come to pass, she is still left breathless in the moment.
Are you seriously gonna do this bit?
I'll give it up eventually.
Share.
Shit. It's crowned, by the way. It's Crow and Royal. Yeah, we gotta not do that. That's woo.
It's strong.
It's crowned.
It's
of
nice
course
and
it's wrong.
burny. All right.
Breathless in the moment. The woman before her is none other than Maison's current top model, Alexa Lifeson.
My wife.
My wife. She stands a whole head taller than Jasmine, her striking natural beauty in a classical pin-up silhouette incongruent with modern fashion standards. Yet the timelessness of her features serve only as the perfect accent to the contemporary stylings she was often outfitted in for the magazine. It is apparent in that moment to Jasmine that no matter how many profiles and details she familiarizes herself with, how many photos she pores over to prime herself for infiltration, nothing could ever prepare her for seeing those images come to life before her very eyes.
Maybe a little.
She admits quickly. She had drawn the woman here exactly how Calvin had warned her not to. This is actually distracting, unfortunately. But that's okay.
Do you want to give up on the fan being so far away and just draw it in closer to you?
Let's pull that shit in.
Okay.
Let's pull that shit in. Just no, bread is all bread.
Jealous.
Brad is already drunk.
Yeah, might even just freeze it, honestly,
Oh.
because I'm fine.
Oh, you're fine?
I'm fine.
Stop that shit.
If it gets hotter, I'll let you know.
All right. Come to life before her. The woman in
Come to life before her very eyes. Maybe a little.
She admits quickly. She had drawn the woman here exactly how Calvin had warned her not to. And she can feel her embarrassment burning into the skin of her neck as she realizes her mistake.
I'm kinda new to it all. The skill, I mean.
The woman only smiles, almost charmed by the awkward silence that follows Jasmine's confession. The young agent scrambles through all the ways she had originally planned to engage with this target, until she finally recalls at least one icebreaker she could rely on.
Your accent, though, Hungarian? Close.
The woman admits with a light, fluttery laugh.
Check. My family fled through Austria to Italy. I'm Alexa Leifson. It's a pleasure. Guess I shouldn't be surprised she sticks with the story.
Jasmine thinks to herself as she recalls Kelvin's orientation.
No matter how it happens, when you make contact with her, do not, under any circumstances, let your guard down.
Calvin had warned as they reached the packet that profiled the very model standing before her eyes.
The story goes that she's supposed to be a Soviet refugee from Czech, but Upman's drawn to a good story as much as he is to fashion. It's all spectacle with Maison, and our intel has it on good authority that this Alexa Leifson is a Red.
Jasmine had furrowed her brow at that, as it conflicted with every bit of training she had been given as an intelligence officer.
But I thought the KGB didn't use female agents.
Calvin leaned in, both hands placed firmly on the table in front of her, and cautioned.
Word to the wise, Jazz. Never operate under the assumption that a negative is true. Better safe than fucking dead, or in this case, in bed with a commie.
Drink when it's gay. Out of all of the deterrents and admonishments he had given her leading up to the event, pardon, it was his warning about the seemingly harmless seductress that had felt most like a threat.
This woman should be seen as your personal enemy number one. Even more than the square biz killer. Alexa Leifson is dangerous. Do not engage beyond what is necessary.
Heeding Calvin's warning, Jasmine introduces herself with mild reservation.
Jojo.
She says, offering to shake the suspicious Russian agent's asset's hand.
Suspected Russian assets.
Oh, shit. Suspected Russian assets. Those are some big Russian assets.
Thank you.
Yeah. Alexa happily takes the outstretched olive branch with an even brighter smile, her sapphire eyes shimmering as she appears to make direct contact with Jasmine's very own soul. That growing shameful heat crawls up the back of her neck as she feels her cheeks turning a familiar pink when the opposing woman says,
I know. You're this month's cover girl.
Drink when it's gay. Embarrassed, Jasmine sputters.
Right. Silly me.
But the dark-haired vixen doesn't respond right away. Instead, she stands across from the younger woman without releasing their handshake. Iridescent eyes lingering upon her face with a peculiar fondness that only intensifies the blush of the junior starlet's makeup. Finally, she gently tugs Jasmine forward. She gently tugs on Jasmine. Finally, she gently tugs Jasmine forward as she turns around, whisking her away to the back of the dining hall through the crowd.
Come, let me introduce you to everyone you need to know. Half of the people you see here are just suck-ups to Mr. Upman.
Pulling her in close to avoid collision with the other guests, her voice is giddy with excitement as she begins pointing out specific partygoers like a schoolgirl gossiping on the playground.
creeping around there is Kurt Duffy, one of our photographers. You probably already ran into him.
True enough, the garish shutterbug appears to be wandering around the party floor, obsessively snapping candid pictures of exclusively female guests like some psychedelic Pygmalion. Jasmine, I wrote that one.
Yep.
Jasmine nods begrudgingly, eliciting another airy chuckle from her odd companion.
He's exactly what you think he is.
Alexa assures.
But he is very good at what he does. Mr. Upman scouted him personally after the success of his Girls on Film showcase downtown. He's responsible for most of our cover period.
Hey.
See? Wait, the accents are going to be the one that gets me. Wait until Eloise shows up.
Gone.
Girls on Film showcase downtown. He's responsible for most of our cover pieces and full-page spreads, as well as the majority of our location shoots. So he won't always be suffocating in his cologne. That's a relief.
Jasmine jokes, and she feels a pulse in her hand that reminds her, gay again, that reminds her she is still being held by the other woman's side.
Oh, I can already tell you're going to fit in just fine here. This way, I believe you saw Sunny over there.
Alexa smoothly guides her newfound companion through the crowd onto their next destination.
Calvin.
Sherilyn Jackson, but she goes by Sunny Cher in publication.
Calvin's voice echoes in her memory as they reach the tall, bubbly model sporting her characteristic pink curls.
She was a prima ballerina before she got into modeling after a career-ending injury. A whole lot of resentment builds up when your entire future falls apart like that.
Lexi!
The girl exclaims, closing the distance in a graceful leap. She flashes a radiant smile and exposes sickeningly sweet dimples to her colleagues, as bitter as honey.
And you must be JoJo! Welcome aboard! How do you like it here so far? Is San Francisco treating you well? I've never been out of Cali before, but it's definitely way different than San Diego. I can't imagine what it must be like coming from Chicago. How long have you been here? Oh, have you gotten a chance to go to Doggies yet?
Alexa laughs. Whether it's at Sunny's barrage of questions or Jasmine's stunned face is uncertain, but she does manage to interrupt upon the first intake of breath that the girl takes.
Sunny, please, slow down. You haven't even introduced yourself yet.
I want to...
Good job, Morgan.
Yeah, I want to do something real quick. This might be easier.
Just realized it's smart to have the Girls on Film reference this early because it throws off the trail. Uh-huh.
That's true.
It's also... I also wrote this originally with the intention of changing Squarebiz Killer to the Polaroid Killer, as if we were going to completely revise this to be not JoJo.
Okay.
Yeah. But, moving.
So this totally fucked up. So I'll go back to here.
Go man.
Okay. No, it's me. I wanted to move it over to the other screen, but it's not gonna
okay.
work.
I can read.
Sorry.
Yeah, actually,
No.
I think it's Alexa's line anyway. I'll just start over.
Yeah.
Sunny, please slow down. You haven't even introduced yourself. Oh, right. Sorry.
She pauses for a moment, glancing at Jasmine's hand still connected to Alexa's.
There. Just call me Sunny, won't you?
What happened?
No, she, glancing at Jasmine's hand, still connects. She's going to go and shake hands.
Yeah.
But Jazz's hand is preoccupied, so
Right.
she just smiles.
She pauses for a moment, glancing at Jasmine's hand still connected to Alexa's before looking back up with another cheerful grin.
Just call me Sunny, won't you?
The undercover model attempts to relax her shoulders and appear natural with a chuckle of her own.
It's nice to meet you, and thanks. I like it a lot. San Fran's definitely different from Chicago, but I've only been here for a day, so I'm sure I'll figure it out, and no Doggies yet.
Just like the spring from a jack-in-the-box, Sunny jumps right back up with glee and claps her hands eagerly.
Oh, I can't wait! I cannot wait to date you then! It's so super stinking cute, and their burgers are to die for! Those are poor choice of words, no?
Another heavily accented voice remarks from behind. Jasmine does not have to turn around to connect it with its evident owner. The intense and negative aura... aura. Eloise has aura.
Elo has aura.
The intense and negative aura exuding its sour presence even more clearly than the dialect itself. She has stink line. She recalls the summary.
She recalls the summary Calvin had passed on to her.
Eloise Margot has been modeling since she was 13. She's been with the magazine the longest, but never managed to secure that top model status, unlike most of the victims.
Sunny quickly covers her mouth, ashamed.
Oh!
Alexa rolls her eyes and offers a sympathetic but reassuring smile to Sunny before shifting herself and her tag-along to face the pale and monochromatic model.
Don't be such a boomer, Eloise.
She chided.
Yes, I did write that intentionally.
Yeah, I know.
You didn't do enough of Alexa not understanding English perfectly.
I know, I dropped that at some point too.
Yeah.
The veteran model glares back fiercely, a burning jealousy evident behind eyes that appeared to be otherwise empty.
It's bummer, Lifeson.
She releases her glower only to take the remaining drink from her glass of wine before turning her acrid attention onto the new employee, her colorless upper lip pulling back into a restrained sneer.
You must think you're something special now. Getting to be the cover girl for this anniversary issue with no other credentials.
Jasmine blinks at the brazen display of vitriol, surprised not by its existence or the words, but the sheer straightforwardness, as if she had nothing to hide. The woman beside her, however, appears entirely unmoved. If anything, she allows her own mild annoyance to bite back as she responds on Jasmine's behalf.
Green does not look good on you, Margot. Yeah!
Sunny agrees.
I'm trying to help!
Sunny agrees emphatically.
Jojo's cover looks great. Getting jealous over it isn't gonna get you what you want.
Eloise sniffs indignantly.
Speak for yourself. I know for a fact that you've been fighting for a solo cover for years. Say what you will about how happy you are for her, but we both know the truth.
The darker woman's complexion flushes noticeably, her upper lip forming around the words, around words that she can't bring herself to say, like a fish gasping for breath, before she purses them together tightly. Satisfied, the caustic rival turns on her heel to exit the unpleasant conversation she had instigated. Sunny's nose wrinkles before she takes a deep breath in to neutralize the tension in her face and address Jasmine with sincerity.
Don't let Elo get to you. She's just a big old sourpuss, but she is harmless. I'm sure.
Jasmine snarks as she watches the French model slip through the crowd, weighing the earnestness of Sunny's words against Eloise's own frankness. Frankless. Well, she is not...
She has no hot dog.
She has no hot dog.
Or ding dong.
Or ding dong. Calvin had been weighing the earnestness of Sunny's words against Eloise's own frankness. Okay, Calvin had been right. Both women were equally motivated to act out against their competition, but resorting to murder, that was hardly to say just yet. It was hard to say just yet. Hardly shit. Holy shit. It was
This really is torture.
This is
For you.
a shit show.
I am so sorry.
It's okay. Continue. Before she allows her suspicion to expose her further, Jasmine quickly offers Sunny an apologetic smile.
I hope there's no feelings over the cover, by the way. If I'd have known it was such a big deal, I wouldn't have done it. Oh, definitely not.
Sunny promises with a smile.
If I got mad at all the people I've had to compete with for jobs, I'd never have any friends. Honestly, modeling is nothing compared to ballet. Believe me.
Believe it. She laughs lightly at a private... That was the laugh.
Yeah.
She laughs lightly at a private memory before waving her own goodbye, following the exact same path through the crowd that Eloise had taken like a dog hot on the trail.
I'll see you around, Jojo. I can't wait to work together.
Once she is out of sight and earshot, Jasmine sighs, only to be startled by the woman she had momentarily forgotten next to her.
Her nickname suits her, don't you think?
Alexa asks with a gentle squeeze to the blonde's palm.
Oh, yeah, I guess so, huh?
Against her better judgment, she risks another look at the face of the startling beauty. Alexa's expression is entirely inscrutable, but the endless blue of her eyes feel as vast as the sea.
Dangerous in their mysterious expanse, but alluringly honest. And, most of all, welcoming in their own way.
Do you have any nicknames of your own? That is, other than Jojo?
Jasmine clears her throat, forcing herself to break the unpredictably intense eye contact. She answers with a forced laugh.
Well, Jojo was never really mine to begin with.
Alexa blinks, apparently surprised for the first time that night, though oddly delighted by the admission.
Oh? Yeah. I was named after my granddad, and Jojo was what my granny always called him. Figured it made an okay enough stage name when I started modeling, so I guess it's technically mine now too, huh?
For whatever reason, this disclosure makes Alexa squeeze Jasmine's hand that much harder. Not forceful, but firm. Almost loving.
How sweet. You were close with your grandparents. Oh, yeah.
Jasmine confesses. That's a good read, oh no, yeah. I like that. Jasmine confesses, though she's not entirely sure why. The details of her personal life were not ones she should be sharing with a suspected enemy, but whether it is the disarming charm of the woman next to her or the deep affection she holds for her family, the fledgling spy is compelled to indulge momentarily in her feelings of nostalgia.
They raised me. Funny enough, Pop called me something similar to Sonny as a kid.
Somewhere in this small conversation, the two had dropped their voices low, nearly whispers to one another. Despite the rumbling cacophony around them of chattering partygoers and live musicians, the only sounds either can hear now are the quiet words they exchange. And in that unexpected intimacy, Alexa asks.
What was it?
A fond smile takes hold of Jasmine's lips beyond her control, and she meets those sapphire blue eyes once more.
Sunshine.
In that moment, a warmth envelops them, and something, a connection perhaps, ignites between them. Jasmine can feel it in the hand she's holding, in the pink staining the back of her neck, and she can see, okay, she's drunk again, and she can see
Can
it,
you tell who likes writing romance?
and she can see it tinging Alexa's face for just a brief moment before they are suddenly interrupted by a mousy squeak that is pushed directly between them. Instinctively, they steady the small figure upright, and Jasmine mentally flips through the Rolodex of profiles she had studied before her mission under Calvin's instruction.
Their daughter.
Mina Moore is Upman's personal assistant and secretary. She's barely 18, but she's already a year into university studying linguistics. There's nothing worthy of her to note, but she's a direct line to Upman himself, so just keep that in your back pocket.
I'm so sorry, Alexa.
The girl stammers, readjusting her glasses and trying to catch her breath. The older woman only shakes her head sympathetically.
Oh, Mina, Mr. Upman has you running around everywhere tonight, doesn't he?
Hot pink cheeks light up in embarrassment as she quickly tries to defend their mutual employer.
Yes, well, it's a big night, of course, and the paparazzi are relentless. I already had to call security on one trying to snoop around outside of Upman's office. Not to mention Dior's nowhere to be found, so I'm a bit more frazzled than usual. At no fault of Mr. Upman.
I see.
Alexa responds, and she pauses for a moment as if lost in thought.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, all right? I'm sure security will take care of things.
Right.
Mina nods sheepishly before taking notice of just whose arms she had found herself in, and she quickly curtsies a well-rehearsed introduction.
Oh, you're Jojo. I'm sorry. It's nice to meet you. I'm Mina Moore. Please don't hesitate to ask if there's anything you need, and I'll talk to Mr. Upman right away.
A protectiveness swells in Jasmine's chest at the mild-mannered girl's frantic display of courtesy, and she smiles at her with a deep concern.
Maybe you should talk to him about taking a break first? You're doing a lot for just one girl.
Mina seems pleased, but she shakes her head reassuringly.
Oh, this is nothing. I just don't do great in crowds.
Jasmine chuckles, understanding.
Me either.
She admits forthright.
It's nice meeting you.
Mina nods once, smiles, and quickly waves farewell while swiftly ducking under the raised arm of an animated guest to make her way toward the party's host. As they watch her go, a question comes to mind that Jasmine vocalizes curiously to Alexa.
Dior. That's the editor-in-chief, right? Is it usual for her to just disappear without Mr. Upman knowing? Yes, well, she's not exactly people-friendly, to say the least.
The woman answers with the hint of a scowl.
If not for Mr. Upman's own history of working with her, she would likely never hold another job. He's the only one capable of keeping her in line. Is that so?
Jasmine mumbles, her thoughts returning to Calvin's briefing.
Dior Lancôme is among our primary suspects, though that's not saying much. Back in the day, she was one of America's top it girls, her face plastered everywhere but money. She's apparently got a real vile temper. As the killings have taken off, so have the tabloids covering her and the fights she's had with Maison's models. Seems every girl that's done in had a big public spat with the editor-in-chief prior. Upman's insisted on her innocence and has corroborated all of her alibis, but it doesn't mean shit to us in this case.
Jasmine's reverie is interrupted by an indiscernible warning from Alexa before she's swiftly accosted by one of the most flamboyant young men she has ever seen in her life. Garbed head to toe in an orange tartan suit, frilled white accents, and a bare midriff, Theodore Carnaby clasps her hand with both of his. "Oh, thank heavens!" he exclaims, his eyes scanning her up and down. But it is clear his attention is less on her and more on the dress that he had tailored exclusively for this event. "I absolutely detest debuts without fittings, but everything appears to be perfectly in place." Alexa chuckles.
You continue to outdo yourself, Theo.
He muses, flicking a cryptic look to Alexa that results in an oddly knowing smile.
Just down the whole bottle at this point.
Down the whole Yes, I suppose. I should know better than to doubt myself at these things. Of course, you must admit. His eyes scan Jasmine up and down once more, a brow raised, a spark of maleficence glittering behind his eyes. The photo doesn't do Jojo here any justice, do they?
Yes, well...
The woman agrees, shyly averting her gaze by disguising her reaction with a light cough.
Not much goes without saying.
Tickled, Theodore lets out a laugh of his own before finally giving Jasmine his proper attention, treating her as a model more than a mannequin. "It's a pleasure to have..." Hold on. "It's a pleasure to have you on board, Jojo. We've not yet had the pleasure of..." Oh, shit.
What's up?
Pleasure in pleasure. It's all
Pleasure.
right. I missed this.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to have you on board, Jojo.
Me too.
We've not yet had the pleasure to be properly introduced, but... Jasmine cuts him off, finally adapting to this song and dance.
Theodore Carnaby. Your reputation precedes you. The dresses you sent over were all incredible. It was difficult to choose.
The young man adjusts his cravat with pride, but bows humbly in gratitude. "Well, I'm flattered, and your taste is impeccable. This piece would have been my inclination as well. I'm hoping to iterate on it for next summer's catalogue. I was just never satisfied with any of the patterns Julia produced, so we weren't able to get out ahead of the season."
Julia mentioned.
Julia drop! This, however, is a glorious debut. Suddenly, another mysterious flicker across Theodore's face. Something catches his attention behind her. His smile twisting slightly. "By the way," he begins, sidling in close to her as after exchanging another quick, enigmatic glance at Alexa. "That strapping fellow you came in with, was that your boyfriend, perhaps?"
What?
Jasmine sputters, taken entirely off guard by the accusation.
No, Calvin? God, no, absolutely not. He's just,
She pauses, trying hard to find the exact word for what her supposed partner could even be called in this situation.
I guess he's just security detail, technically.
Theodore's face lights up and suddenly appears to go out the window as he cranes his neck to look beyond Jasmine with more interest than before. Fuck, I read that so well.
You want to try it again? Take two.
Theodore's face lights up, and subtlety appears to go out the window as he cranes his neck to look beyond Jasmine with more interest than before. "Well then," he muses, his tone almost scheming. "Would you happen to know if he..." It takes a moment for Jasmine's mind to catch up to both her instincts and the pit forming in her stomach, and her face falls in horror.
Oh, I mean, I don't know, but you shouldn't. You really shouldn't get wrapped up in that. Trust me.
Whoops. I scrolled up too fast. But anyway, either way. The young man takes a thoughtful step back and pauses in consideration of her advice. You might be right. He does appear to be a bit shorter than my usual type. His devilish grin returns. Nevertheless, it is good to establish where territory lies. Theodore winks with the slightest nudge to Alexa's arm as he brushes past them on his way out. And Jasmine watches with bated breath to see if the young designer does indeed make his way toward Calvin before sighing with relief when he is distracted by some other obscure guest.
The last thing we need is a scene.
She thinks to herself as she recalls the contorted face of her superior, the contorted face her superior had made as he described the artist to her. This is kind of another slur.
Kinda, yeah. A little bit. Not... in the same vein as Fairy.
A little bit, yeah.
The fruit here is Theodore Carnaby. He's a fashion prodigy from Oxford that Upman scooped up after his first show in London at the age of 16. He's already designed more in his 4 years. In his 4-year career than names like Giorgio Armani, Coco Chanel, and even Emilio Pucci. Pucci drop. All of his stuff, you could say, is made in heaven. Sensing her discomfort, Alexa takes Jasmine's hand in hers and tries offering reassurance.
I don't think Theo is interested in causing much trouble tonight. Try not to worry too much about your friend.
Jasmine scoffs, but does find herself feeling a little more at ease with Alexa's consoling.
It's not my friend I'm worried about.
Smiling, Alexa looks back into the
I don't want to witness hate crime.
Smiling, Alexa looks back into the mass of people before exclaiming.
Oh, there.
She points to another figure keeping his distance in the corner. Despite being a tall man with alarmingly blue eyes of his own and a polka dot button-up, he was going entirely unnoticed by the crowd.
That's our photographer, Weston Archer. He was a photojournalist in New England before coming to Maison. He's sweet, pretty much the opposite of Duffy, and an absolute wallflower. Let's say hi, shall we?
Alexa's description of the quiet cameraman was nearly identical to the one Calvin had provided, which spoke to the only thing he had that she had not offered. Which spoke to the only thing he had that she had not offered.
He comes from old money, so it's pretty so he's had it pretty cozy as an artist. He's never had to worry about a real goddamn thing in his life, and he's chosen to piss it away behind a camera, which means one of two things. He's either too clean to be trusted or too weak to survive. Either way, that's all we've got.
Unable to do anything but follow, Jasmine keeps in close step with her tireless guide and finds herself before the lanky photographer spacing out against a wall. The wall.
To Weston.
Alexa says, snapping her fingers in front of his face.
Are you with us?
Alexa! He gasps, shaking the fog from his eyes, which practically double in size as he focuses on the intruders who crashed haphazardly into his daydream. Is everything, all right? She laughs.
I almost feel as though I should be asking you. I've never seen your head so far into the clouds before.
Sorry, he says, clearing his throat. You know how I am with parties.
One time,
Alexa explains to Jasmine with amusement.
back when Maison had a more full crowd, one of the models that was fairly keen on him convinced Weston to join her on the dance floor.
Convinced isn't the word I would use. Weston whines sheepishly, rubbing the back of his neck. It was more like she dragged me. Anyway, I'm all elbows and knees and 2 left feet. It was a disaster. He uses his head to point behind him and professes, I prefer the wall. Jasmine offers an empathetic smile.
I can imagine.
He smiles back awkwardly and then timidly extends his arm. Weston Archer, and you're the girl of the hour, right? Jojo? She nods and shakes his hand, taking a special mental note of the gloves that he casually wears.
That would be me. And with no wall of my own to sneak away to.
You're not a fan of crowds? He asks curiously.
It's not so much the crowds as it is the attention.
She admits.
An odd choice of profession, I know.
He shakes his head, adjusting the glasses slipping down the bridge of his slender nose. Not really. Sometimes we all find ourselves in unlikely positions. A lot of models lose their honesty when faced with a camera lens, but You don't. You have a unique sort of pull, gravity. The way you've moved around the party and the pictures you submitted to Upman. It shows on camera. Whether you want to or not, you stand out. People are drawn to that.
You read that exactly how I wanted it to be.
Okay.
Sorry.
Jasmine is speechless, unsure of whether his musings are sincere or if they're perhaps some poetic attempt to curry her favor, to disarm her and pull her in his own way. But before she's able to form a response, he quickly raises his hands to put up a wall between them, as though realizing he had overstepped some unspoken boundary. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get so carried away like that. What I mean to say is, Upman shared your portfolio with me before you were hired, and I was really impressed. So even if it seems strange to you, it actually makes sense.
If I didn't know any better, Weston, I'd say you were flirting.
Alexa teases, and the photographer winces, turning his face away, an expression not so much of embarrassment as one of mild disgust.
We'll let you be for now. I think it's time I get Jojo a drink.
He deigns to look back at the women with a nod and a polite, see you around. Before Alexa whisks her Jasmine away yet again. But this time, she is led out of the crowd toward a quieter corner of the lively event. A large window on the second level, looking down onto the street to see the press finally dying down. The press buzz finally dying down.
There you go.
Limos and lights fade into the distance, and security and staff begin closing duties from the outside. Alexa hands Jasmine a glass of freshly poured champagne, before leaning against the opposite wall framing the window.
Tell me a little about yourself, Jojo. What's the girl behind the photos like? Is she anything like the one Weston describes? Dunno.
Taking the flute, she looks into the bubbly liquid and fumbles for the best way to answer the prying question.
Can't say I'm really all that interesting.
Alexa scoffs.
I'll be the judge of that.
Jasmine smiles sardonically, sipping the sparkling dry.
It seems you already are.
She chides. She can sense the other woman's private amusement at the barb, but rather than continuing the banter, Alexa persists in her interrogation.
You mentioned being raised by your grandparents. What was that like?
Jasmine feels her body succumb to mild relief. Despite having trained as a spy to adopt any given history and personality, she had been explicitly instructed to keep most of her own. I don't know I had any trouble with that.
I don't know.
Like everything about this mission, she was not afforded an answer. But from what she could gather out of Calvin's responses, it had something to do with the tightly guarded government secrets that she was specifically responsible for hiding.
That he was
specifically responsible for hiding.
It was great.
Jasmine admits.
My mom sort of dumped me on them when I was really little, but I'm glad. I wouldn't have wanted to be with anyone else. Are they still around?
Jasmine feels a sting in her heart, and she takes a bit more of the champagne to soothe the wound.
Granny is. Pop died when I was 12. It was the last time I saw my mom, too. Since then, it was always just Granny and me.
She can feel Alexa's eyes on her, staring, but it does not feel suspicious like she thought it would. Instead, it is warm, affectionate, and in that moment, she starts to consider that perhaps Calvin was wrong about her being an enemy. Maybe she really was a refugee trying to find her place in yet another foreign country with the one thing a woman can ever seem to get by on. Wow. Perhaps she really was just another potential victim that Jasmine should be focused on saving. Her next question came in that same low tone from before. Quiet, intimate. A voice only meant for her.
Why are you here? Now, of all times. Aren't you scared?
After a long moment of consideration, Jasmine finally answers with absolute sincerity.
Well, yeah. Terrified, actually. But I guess the thing about me is I have a really hard time saying no.
She pauses and stumbles, realizing the implication and quickly correcting herself.
I don't mean to others. I mean to myself, the universe. I don't know. Just when things happen to me, I don't like to stop.
The core of Jasmine's personality. A heavy silence falls as Alexa stares at the disguised agent with a
pursed brow. Though Jasmine is unaware of the complex look and its peculiar melange of feelings as she herself continues
I know
peering,
words too.
peering down the street.
What about you?
She finally asks, noticing the quiet.
Are you scared too?
The conflicted expression on her face is immediately washed away as soon as Jasmine's eyes turn back to her and is instead replaced with one of shame, though perhaps it is more honestly motivated than either woman realizes.
Absolutely terrified. Every moment is a waking nightmare.
She admits in a hushed tone. Jasmine looks upon the woman who had done nothing but express brazen confidence. Brazen confidence since waltzing up to her mere moments ago, and sees her shrink into something more timid and conflicted. She feels a sharp pang deep within her chest, a burning desire to correct what she felt was wrong with this sight, and she reaches out to place a comforting hand on Alexis.
It'll be over soon.
She reassures. The femme fatale looks up at Jasmine in surprise and is met with a sad but reassuring smile.
Nightmares.
And the promise.
Yeah. Sorry. Nightmares don't last forever.
Tears appear to bristle at the edges of the big blue eyes. Gay. Drink.
This
They
is
are-
another
this whole
scene.
thing. But they are blinked back into retreat before they can betray the beauty's strength.
You truly are something else, Jojo.
Alexis says, grasping back the hand offered to her with an unprecedented affection.
Thank you.
They finish their respective glasses in a gentle mutual silence before handing them off to passing waitstaff and making their way back down the stairwell to the main floor. In truth, Jasmine was in no hurry to part from her unexpected confidant, but she feels the searing hot glare of an ill-tempered redhead boring into her skull and knows she will have to return to independently navigating the room before Calvin decides to take matters into his own hands. Alexa, too, seems to sense the coming shift between them, and she stops in time with the agent. In a forced formal tone, Jasmine concludes.
I appreciate the tour, Miss Lifeson.
The raven-haired woman laughs laughs and effortlessly, almost unnoticeably, meets Jasmine's own performance in kind.
Please, just call me Alexa. We're colleagues, after all.
She nods agreeably.
Right. Alexa. Thanks again. I think my nerves have finally settled down. I'm really looking forward to working with you.
The older model lets go of her companion's hand and begins to part with a little wave and a wink.
As am I. I'll let you go and get to know the others from here. Ciao.
Jasmine watches Alexa leave with a regretful smile, tracing her lips.
Ooh,
Boy, tracing her fingers, her fingers along the now empty and abandoned palm, as she muses on the whirlwind of information she had finally escaped. Someone among this crowd, in this light-hearted celebration of people and the work that they love, was threatening their happiness. Someone, perhaps even someone she had just met, was taking the lives of young women who must have been no different than Alexa. Simple, kind women who did not want to spend their remaining days anticipating their own demise. She clenches both fists firmly at her side, steeling her resolve. Jasmine had a promise to fulfill now, not just to herself or to prove her worth as a spy. Whoever the square biz killer turned out to be, she would be the one to find them and end their reign of terror.
My husband!
It's that time! An aged masculine voice belts out with authority, bringing all to attention to the front of the ballroom-sized entertaining hall. Dressed in a smart burgundy smoking jacket stands President Ashton Upman, the founder and CEO of Maison, as he overlooks the crowd ready to receive his address from a podium centered in the wide stairwell upon the second level. Jasmine listens carefully with the memory of Calvin's extensive reports fresh in her mind. Here we go.
We have been in constant communication with Ashton Upman and working to get you hired, but only so far as your acting casting agent, since he's another one of our primary suspects. He worked his way up as a minor journalist and critic before making his way into the fashion industry soon after meeting Dior on a series of pinup calendars. He saw an opportunity in bridging the gap between high fashion and the average consumer, and that's how Maison was born. One part Sears, the other part Vogue, and all on track to outpace both magazines in respective sales, despite the murders. Maybe even because of them. You know what they say. No such thing as bad press. The party's almost over. Now that all those ass-kissers and muckrakers are gone, it's just Maison left to celebrate Maison. Upman continues, earning a few light chuckles throughout the crowd. Jasmine scans the relatively small crowd remaining in the grand. And the group, because we already said crowd. Group remaining in the grand hall, recognizing only the names and faces she had studied carefully in her piles of files.
You're welcome.
Left at her desk at headquarters. The corporate donors and other high-profile celebrities appear to have all left for the night, and the journalists, hoping for some scandalous scoop or exclusive exposé from the event, have all been seen out by the intense security team hired in the wake of the Square Biz killer. As if reading her mind, the president draws attention
You're so close.
to the other elephant in the room. I know we're all short a few models who should be celebrating with us today, so it's tragically a little lonely. They paid the ultimate price for their beauty, and I'm proud to feature their last days of glory in our pages. I founded Maison on the principles of that price, one we all toiled toward together. Alas, we have merely been outpaced by our dearly departed. But I see their final issues as no greater swan song, a reward for the incalculable loss of human cost of human suffering. I cannot help but wonder how brilliantly they shined in the end. How brilliantly they burned in the end. Oh boy. Upman paused.
So close.
To reflect on his choice of words, letting his thoughts and the point of his speech drift away from him in the stream of his distant consciousness. But before the uncomfortable murmurs of the crowd become wary whispers, the oddly morbid fashion mogul redirects his course back to the shore. But before we all go off and into the night and beyond these walls once more, whatever, man, a toast to them and to the decennial anniversary of Issue 1. The bodies in the room clap with gentle enthusiasm, golf claps, and Upman leans over to the young, wide-eyed secretary behind him, taking her by complete surprise, something Jasmine assumes is all too common based on the fluidity of her recovery and the nonplussed reaction of her employer. I almost did that perfect. Fuck
You
it.
were so close.
I know. Be sure everyone's glass is filled, as we discussed. And one for yourself too, Mina. It's only a sip after all. The girl nods and makes her way to the
Nearby table.
to the nearby table, displaying a magnum bottle of port labeled Trevet d'Amour. It towers above the small wine glasses, which Mina expertly pours equal tasting portions within using... Oh my god.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just bad at my job. It towers above the small wine glasses, which Mina expertly pours equal tasting portions within, using almost surgical precision, not one sparing a single drop. As Upman continues with his egocentric ramblings, the nearby servers begin to distribute the glasses for the toast, with Mina taking the final tray and making her own round through the crowds to ensure everyone is served. At last, the two make eye contact from across the room in a non-verbal acknowledgement, and the company president holds aloft his own glass and leads the toast, offering his salutations. To Maison, pain is beauty. From the highest vantage point in the room, Calvin scans the party with anxious impatience, taking stock of each and every face and trying desperately to find what only he is capable of looking for, but to no avail. Other than Alexa, no one's paid a damn mind to Jasmine, so what the hell's going on? Was that Polaroid Duffy gave her a calling card of some kind? Dior's still nowhere to be found either. Something's wrong. I should have sniffed out another stand user by now, but the party's almost over and...
Suddenly, a thought crosses his mind as he witnesses the silent exchange between Upman and Mina, and every single member of Maison raises their glass in celebration.
The wine.
His eyes snapped open in revelation.
He knows! That son of a bitch knows we're on to him!
But this realization comes far too late as the crowd joins the agent in a mad panic. What was once a scene of revelry turns into chaos. Glass hits the floor. Screams of horror fill the room while other guests wail in untold anguish. Plates and chairs are thrown at mostly invisible assailants while other guests flee from similar unseen fiends. And all Calvin can do is watch as all of Maison succumbs to frenzy. Within the eye of the storm, Jasmine herself begins feeling dizzy, and she struggles to keep it together with desperate heavy breaths.
A panic attack?
It is a familiar sensation, like the one she had overcome, like the one that had overcome her hours ago when faced with the flashing lights and leering eyes of the press outside the tower. But unlike before, it is heavier and more intense, and worst of all, seemingly without cause. Instinctively, she tries to search for Calvin, but her eyes cannot focus, and she shakily grasps at the corner of a table to prevent herself from collapsing. However, something is odd about the hand she had braced her fall with. She feels her heart pound faster, louder in her skull, and she slowly lifts the limb in question to her face to see it glow in psychedelic light. Terror-stricken, Jasmine pulls herself together enough to dart to the ladies' restroom and tries washing off the strange glow creeping up her arm, and for a moment, it seems to work. She sighs in relief, but this celebration is cut short as the multicolored light returns to wrap around her arm, as if slowly being dipped in luminescent paint.
What the hell is going on?
Jasmine shouts, chest seizing under the pressure of her mounting tension. Her rhetorical question is answered by a calm and husky female voice.
You are awakening to your stand.
Posed against the bathroom door with her arms crossed is none other than Alexa, barring both entry and exit. The cacophony of the mayhem outside is silenced behind her, and there they stand alone within the isolated room. Jasmine clenches her teeth as she realizes the reason for Alexa's intrusion, the confirmation that she had started to hope would never come.
KGB then.
A shrewd smirk curls at the other woman's lip.
You're right on the money, Jojo. When did you catch on?
Jasmine scoffs, something caught between a laugh and a sigh in a sardonic expression of her personal resentment.
I was kinda hoping Cal was just wrong, but guess it doesn't matter now, huh?
Alexa's smile fades for just a moment, her brow screwed in something some inscrutable emotion as she looks away from the blonde woman.
So you were warned. And yet, it seems there's much you still have... So you were warned. And yet, it seems there's much you still have not been told by your so-called compatriots in the CIA.
In the absence of her enemy's scrutiny, Jasmine feels the tingling sensation return to her arm, and as she looks to see the prismatic luster return, her solid form appearing to fade within the gleam of the light, knowing of no other options, she goes against her better judgment and runs the water over her hand again to combat the persistent phenomenon and tries to identify her options, now knowing she would have to face this foe. Her smart mouth, however, gets ahead of her as she quips back to Alexa.
Did you figure that out just now, or when you tugged me around the party like your damn doll?
The femme fatale ignores the snipe and instead returns to keeping her eyes fixed poignantly on the young agent.
That glowing arm of yours is something we call a stand. It is an entity beyond one's bicameral mind. Think of it as a kind of phantom from your psyche.
Jasmine looks to Alexa suspiciously through the mirror so that she may keep her shimmering arm under the running tap. But she slowly begins to understand exactly what she has heard.
Psychic warfare.
The dark-haired woman nods affirmatively.
Both of our governments are experimenting with ways to utilize the power of stands for espionage. However, the United States was... Fuck me. I'm getting tripped up on the fact that we're going to say the word. However, the United States has found a way to artificially activate stands by using an extremely potent hallucinogenic they call gypsy eyes. That's as far as we've uncovered.
These details strike a revelation in Jasmine's mind.
The wine? But then who?
Alexa shakes her head.
Not us. And I'm willing to bet now not your CIA either. We are both looking for the same person. The Square Biz killer uses the power of a stand to do his dirty deeds. Now it's like finding a needle in the haystack, as you would say.
Jasmine grinds her teeth harder, frustrated by the vulnerable position she has found herself in. Facing the enemy of her country alone, incapacitated by whatever psychotic episode was beginning to unfold, and a serial killer slipping away without so much as a trace. She sees her only options disappear before her very eyes, like the elusive light attempting to take her.
Why are you telling me all this? It's simple, my American friend.
Kicking off the doorframe, Alexa steps forward and taps a nearby mop with her boot, and in one swift movement, she uses it to secure the door in place. She places one confident hand upon her hip while using the other to toss her long hair back over her shoulder, and her bright blue eyes looking deep into Jasmine's own, reflecting at her in the mirror.
You might not live past tonight.
Two ghostly figures come into focus behind the opposing vixen, revealing themselves as spherical satellites with antennae floating above her. With a set of glowing robotic eyes trailing neon red lights in their wake, the twin satellites set their sights on Jasmine, and Alexa calls her stand by name.
Private eyes.
Having escaped the hysteria within the walls of Maison, Calvin sits in the passenger side of the same Lincoln Continental that had once driven the agents to their fateful destination. Beside him is the unkempt chauffeur from before, though without a cheeky smile in sight. The man watches the redhead struggle with a decision only he can make, and finally, Calvin takes a CB radio receiver in hand. "Cal," the driver says, though he knows his protest is one that will go unacknowledged. With an empty gaze staring out to the now abandoned Alcatraz Island sitting idly in the bay, Calvin punctuates his transmission with a single statement. "Yeah. Jasmine was..." Really? I dropped the ball at the end. "Yeah. Jasmine's been compromised." Yeah.
Literally 10 o'clock! We have 30 minutes for Q&A, baby!
We have 30 minutes for Q&A.
Oh my fucking god. I'm so sorry how painful that was for both listeners and for Cody. That's on me. I should have pushed Cody to do more.
Trimming down, maybe? I don't know.
No,
trimming?
It's not trimming. I should have had you cold read it with me so that you could do the edits there for like, oh, I'm gonna trip over this word, or hey, we would have probably caught that pleasure. Part of my weakness as a writer is I write something and then I rewrite upon rereads instead of like doing a passive rating through. So I read out of order. So I will read something and go, oh, this is a word I use here. I need to take it and like make sure that I do a callback here. Mm-hmm. And I jigsaw so much that I end up, letting a couple things slip by no matter how many times I read it out loud.
Shit happens.
Pleasure. But it's Theo, so of course he's going to talk about pleasure. I know you all were pretty quiet. I hope you're still here. I'm going to try and go through and see any questions that we might have missed during interruptions. I don't think we did.
I don't think there's any. If y'all have questions, we've got like half an hour.
I was wondering if we
chat.
should do a live stream after the premiere too.
Maybe.
I don't know if anybody would be interested in a Q&A after the fact, just because we did say at the beginning, you were alluding to the fact that there's like a lot of process stuff that you could get into.
Yeah, and really, this Q&A can go on for a while.
It could.
It really, really could.
So we could push another Q&A after the fact that's not in the Discord.
I mean,
just because it's
sort of wrap up.
Yeah, just because it's more casual to actually say these things out loud. Mm-hmm. I did remember this though. A couple. So, do you ever wonder if one of those camera flashes was Weston? No, because all of Maison is inside, which I hope was established clearly at
Yeah.
the beginning. Once we got to meet everybody. And then I saw Brad also say this has a lot of implications of a TLS actor AU. Actor AUs are one of my absolute favorite things in the universe, and I would love to hear people's actor AUs for TLS.
Because, I mean, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Morgan might do it, but I'm not.
Oh, no. I love actor AUs, but I absolutely can't do it for the lighted stage because I can't imagine a world that Alexa and Jasmine are not married in. Their relationship means so much to me. So much so that I have like 2 AU fanfiction ideas that I'm just gonna eventually turn into my own fucking Sappho fix.
Cool. Doesn't look like we have any
Probably not a lot of questions.
any questions popping up.
But,
Well, that's
you know,
okay. That's
It's
okay.
not necessary. We can just hang out for about 30-ish minutes.
30-ish. We got to start at like 10 on the 10:30 on the dot.
Yeah.
I timed it out because of the sheer amount of yeah. So we can't start even like a minute late.
I expected 2 hours to be the read-through. It probably would have been less had we rehearsed. Also,
Probably should've.
it's a bad day, like energy-wise. You took a nap in the middle of the day while I was in therapy.
Oh yeah, I fucking crashed.
And I've been nervous as fuck. Just antsy, because again, I wrote a lot of this one.
Yeah.
And I don't share my writing like I used to when I was much younger. So yeah. But clearly, the MO of this rewrite was doing a lot of foreshadowing and setup. Selfishly motivated because I really love these characters and like their little tiny relationships and the little micro interactions.
I can tell that there was a lot of this that was indulgent. Mm-hmm. I think that definitely comes through, but there's nothing wrong with showing the actual like Alexa going around and introducing.
It's
rather than just being like, look at them, that's them, that's them, that's them, that's them, and that's the introduction.
I love the conceit of Calvin's briefings interspersed with the character introductions. It's one of my favorite
if this were
writing things.
Yeah, if this were animated, this would have clipped along right there, and this would have been like an entire like scene that had its own like identity that was like as it went along. Yeah.
Yeah, I will probably put the rewrite on my AO3 because I have one other TLS fic that I've already shared.
I can't. I mean, I could update.
I can do it as a collaboration.
Yeah,
because you've got the saga.
I would sooner do it like that.
Yeah, that's how I would intend to do it.
I'm not thinking I'm gonna update chapter 1 with it just because like. I mean, it's all in line, but
it does completely differ from because
the
like there are
video,
certain
right?
the video and also certain details because like the Polaroids. If we were to rewrite everything, we would have to rewrite Poppy finding the photo album.
The scrapbook, the photo
because in reality, that photo album would be Weston keeping every article written about him.
I guess it would have to be something like that.
No, it absolutely would be. That was my intention. And then
notes in the margins. I hate the name Square Biz Killer.
Actually, no, I have. Okay, so are we curious? Because I literally just got to this point. Square Biz Killer has been addressed as a title for him. He's been named, and what I've been writing. I'll go ahead and just. So, little tiny preview.
Is it okay to have this music?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's so set up. Weston is at a bar with Annie Perez, and it's New Year's Eve. Weston didn't bother wondering what they could have been laughing at. Grateful to have a prop that wasn't a drink to serve as a social deterrent, he thumbed through the newsprint with disinterest until he caught sight of 3 words printed in large black and white, and he bit the inside of his cheek to suppress the smile threatening to betray him. SFPD says they have no leads on the Square Biz killer, Andrew Argo, offering $1,500 reward for the arrest of his estranged daughter's killer. It was an overall uninteresting article, the kind of predictable filler when the public impatiently demands an update for a story in motion. But he couldn't help but be tickled by the ironically dichotomous name. It wasn't thoughtful or clever or even accurate, in all honesty, but it was the exact effect he was intent on generating. Violent, cold-blooded murders depicted in candid, brutal horror characterized by a nonsensically childish name. It was theater of the absurd, an assault of the senses to awaken a complacent species to the harsh fact of its vile existence. Certainly, it would take time to get just right. To find the perfect deity, he would have to tear apart the very nucleus of the universe he would need to extinguish. He had been close with Poppy, but comets are not stars, so his search continued. And
Bro really had Akira. No, I can't laugh. I have to hold it in.
I love writing Weston.
You really do. Every single
Single time Weston appears.
You have to have your hand in it.
Fucking
And it's like
75% me.
okay. I'll let that. A lot of the dialogue
Dialogue in general.
in the finale, for sure. A lot of that was me.
Yeah, the speeches, definitely you. I'm going through and touching up words. The dialogue in this chapter in particular, every, time a character is interacting with another character, that's me. And a lot of the times, it's pretty obvious. Like, if you really scrutinize the writing when Cody and I are collaborating on things, you'll start to notice a dialogue trend pick up, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, Morgan's writing this one. And then, some sort of narrative tick will appear, and you're like, that's Cody. So, if you really wanted to get...
you can kind of really see the shift.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. We've been writing together for years, and so it's just really obvious to us.
We definitely each have our own styles, and I think if you pay enough attention, you can probably notice it.
But I love writing Weston to a degree that became a problem in the end.
Maybe there'd be less serial killers if we didn't give them menacing ass nicknames. Like, can we just call them the Little Dick Killer or the Pee Pee Poo Poo Killer?
The Baloney Killer.
The Baloney Man.
The Baloney Man. That's what it is. The Baloney Man.
What do they mean by the Baloney Man?
Do you need to set an alarm so that we make sure that we close stream at the right time?
I'm keeping a
Okay, you're keeping an on time.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you were going to post concept art to the art folder after TLS ends. Might have concept art there, and I can't remember, but figured it was a decent question.
There is a concept art folder in the Google Drive, so if you'll go to the artwork section, it should be like right there.
Yeah. So unlike Cody's writing, when Cody illustrates, there is very little concept art that he keeps, because he erases and erases and erases and draws over and draws over and draws over, and he never saves iterations.
Boom.
So I've given up hope on him keeping concept art.
Yeah, here's some of the concept art. This is all the folders. So some early works that are not the finished version go here as well. Here's the OG Calvin that I replaced with a new piece of art. I just threw that to the concept art, but I've also got some of these sketches, and here's Eloise and Sunny. The first times I really drew them, they didn't really change much.
No. Yet you very rarely thumbnail.
Mm-hmm.
Am I fucking stupid and crazy and dumb?
This
Yeah, I
Calvin
am.
is.
It is 34 chapters, so it's going to be 1 through 33, and we're going to launch into 34. I've been
Yeah.
saying 35 because I'm a fucking dumbass.
Oh my god. It's okay.
I'm sure I posted it somewhere incorrectly.
Yeah, this early Crow in Royal
I think that's
design.
the only like drastically different one. I mean, other than Beefeater.
Beefeater. Oh my god.
Beefeater's insane. And Jazz.
This was Beefeater originally.
R.I.P. Original Jazz. I liked you more.
Yeah, and then original Jazz.
I still lament Original Jazz. It's not that you in the end came around and drew a much more palatable Jazz for me, but I cannot stand the clash of neon yellow and lime green of her fucking outfit and how it's just, no offense, a little uninspired. Because you literally just aped something that existed.
I suppose, yeah. This was a really early Jazz.
This was a really...
This was the first version of Jazz that I conceived
this
of.
was Steel Ball Run style.
Well, this one at the
That
bottom.
one, yeah.
Part 8 style.
Original Beefeater is fire, not gonna lie. I don't know, maybe that design will get used
Who
somewhere.
knows? Maybe. It could be.
He was designed after... Oh my god, the name is slipping me from AC/DC. Who you based the voice on.
No, I based the...
His outfit specifically.
Oh, yeah, Brian Johnson.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Brian Johnson.
A lot of original Beefeater came from that outfit. I'm asking because I'm positive you guys have accounted for it, but imagine if the timing was off by a bit and we start seeing chapter 34 way earlier than we were supposed to. If that happened, we'll be there because we tend to like pop in early to the premiere so that we can catch it, and we hang out and chat all the time. So if it happens, it happens, but I don't think it will.
Yeah, no, I'm Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson. Did Calvin and La Cantina know about Weston's service in the military? No, none of Weston's Vietnam photos were ever published, so no one is aware except for Dior.
Correct. He didn't go back to his magazine. He quit, and he never turned those photos in. And yeah, pretty much because he's not like a military. He didn't serve as a military.
No, he was a journalist
He was
covering it.
Journalist covering it, so it's all good.
And
Yep.
yeah,
Hit it with the...
he kept all of his photos. That was his shit.
Yeah. What else we got?
When we talk about school pewters, we should only address them by the name that calls the pewting. That's an interesting way to fucking censor that. Pewting. Pew pew.
Back here.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, I think... So, okay. So, the premiere tomorrow is at
6 p.m.
6
Should be 6
p.m. It's an hour and 10 minutes. So, like 7:30-ish? I don't... Oh, you go in at 10 the next day, though.
Oh, yeah. I go in really early.
Maybe we just do a Q&A stream on Thursday next week?
Maybe. That could be what we do.
What do you
We'll-
feel up to? We'll figure it
I'll
out tomorrow, I guess.
we'll figure it out tomorrow. I might be too tired.
Honestly,
Who knows?
after tonight.
But I still want to do this Q&A stream.
This was a, live read. It was something that I threw out to Cody, and then his ADHD ass forgot, and I brought it up again. And he's like, yeah, no, we'll do it. And I'm like, I should have, with my instinct, gone, yeah, but you're not prepared. But
Not prepared. Well, you know what?
But I was like, it makes more sense to do the rewritten chapter 1 before everything so that you can compare.
Because it's gonna go right into chapter 1 after this, in like almost 10 minutes.
Yeah, but like a huge again, going back to the indulgence of rewriting things and the character interaction stuff, a lot of things that I like hope people were able to pick up on were things like the focus on eyes. And
Yeah.
that being the teller. Jazz's honest response to every question, because that was one of the things. Cody's got the whole not once tonight have you ever lied to me. Right in
But
chapter
they barely talk.
but they barely speak to each other, so you're just alluding to a conversation we never got to be privy to.
Yeah.
And I was
here's the whole fucking
Fuck it.
conversation.
And
Here's
also-
every single word.
and a huge part of that is like it makes sense that she wouldn't lie. The CIA wouldn't have let her create an identity because the whole point of this being Jasmine is they know that Alexa's stand detects lies.
Yeah.
And they needed someone who could go in with some kind of honesty.
Right. And they also sent her in because, you know.
Yeah. Some people know.
Well, just so that they could.
Yeah.
It was a suicide mission.
Yeah.
It's like
no, they knew that this
send
was
her in, no code name, just let her do everything that we need her to do, and then she'll get
she has
killed.
a sacrifice.
Yeah. Complete sacrificial lamb.
Yeah. And that's like a huge part of the sympathy that I wanted to get across with Alexa, because like every question she's asking is targeted, trying to get Jazz to lie, because that's what a CIA agent's supposed to do, and she's not. And that's like more and more Alexa realizing like this sad little lamb has shown up, and it's like,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to do about this? I know what she's getting into. She has no idea. And so like it's endearing. Alexa's attracted to honesty, but at the same time there's a huge amount of pity for it.
Yeah.
I love Alexa. And the nightmares don't last forever line is one of my favorites.
Right.
There's
Yeah. Sorry. No.
no, just because that was never something that we ever discussed until we got deep into the series.
That's the thing, because like a lot of the details in the lighted stage, the like nitty gritty details are completely emergent.
Yes.
I should have turned this on to with your Chrome so that it's
Yeah.
blocking out the ads. Anyway, all of the nitty gritty details are emergent as I was writing the lighted stage. I started flying a seat of my pants with this bare bones idea.
Yeah.
So I had to sort of retroactively take everything that I had set up and
Sometimes things that
circle
were
back
inconsistent.
and then some things were.
Specifically Jazz's stage fright.
Yeah, that I came up with
After chapter 1.
after chapter 1.
And so you had this line, it drove me crazy even when I read it, and I never said anything because I'm like, this is something I'm not involved in. This is Cody's baby. I'm not gonna fucking get in. Here I am.
Yeah.
So like, I had the line for, it was Jazz, I was born for this, I was made for this, something like that. And I remember reading it and going, this
This sucks.
is not what I ever pictured for the character, but fine, this is what Cody's written, and that's what's gonna be here.
It shouldn't exist. I should not have written it that way.
As an actor, your job is to just read the line in front of you, regardless of how you feel about it.
So I had to
what I did.
retcon it in chapter 3.
Yeah.
I had to retcon that whole thing in chapter 3 by being like,
Yep.
well, it was just lying dormant.
Yep.
Right? You know, I had sort of gotten over it once I felt my stalker go away.
Because my stalker, I punched my stalker out in the future.
And then, but you know, it's coming back. Oh
Yeah.
shit, it's coming back. It awoke once I awakened my stand.
Yeah.
And so like, okay, that's my explanation.
Yeah.
But I hadn't come up with that facet of her
Yep.
character until chapter 3.
Yep. And so this is also just a little tiny, like, writing tip. When you finish your first draft, use everything that you got in your first draft to influence and, what's the word I'm looking for? Inform your first chapter. Genuinely the best advice. Get everything written, put it down. Don't sit there and get in like, oh, I've got to perfect this scene so bad because it's so important. No, write everything beginning to end and then utilize what you have learned along the way as you go back and do your rewriting. best writing advice I can give aside from read your shit out loud. I forgot I had this question. How do you feel about the finale most likely having the second most views compared to chapter 1, since usually the first and last episodes get the most views?
I would be impressed and very happy if out the gate the finale got half of the views.
Yeah.
That chapter 1 accumulated over 6 years.
Yeah.
So if it gets inevitably the same amount of views, if not just a little bit less, that would also be great. I'd be very happy with that. I would like for none of these videos to stagnate in terms of views. I want more people to get into it and keep watching from start to finish, even though it's over, especially now that it's over. People know that, hey, it's finished. I can go into chapter 1 and just binge all the way through to the end, and there is an end waiting for me.
Yeah.
So maybe that might encourage more people to check it out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I know it's just, given out of a chapter 1, you must establish a protagonist, and I'm excited to see how you decide to do that for future protagonists.
With a
going forward.
lot more thought.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot more writing ahead in future work.
Yeah. My intention is for in the future to have everything written ahead of time before I start recording and releasing.
Yeah.
So that the only thing I have to do is the production side of things, month to month to month.
Yeah.
And it'll be a lot easier on me because writing takes a while.
Yeah. Brad, I haven't listened to OG Chapter 1 in a while, so I can't comment on it, but I do like how this revise establishes Jazz's personality way early on, her inability to stay still, and her disposition. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. I like character work. I like romance. I like gay shit. But
I apparently like gay shit too.
You do.
I write nothing but queer media as the
Oddly
straightest
enough,
cis white man.
it's fucking wild to me that you somehow stumble into the gayest stories imaginable, but you really do. But as much as I talk about how narrative and theming is like the most important part of writing a story, characters are my favorite thing to write. Is that why Saint of Mistakes is likely not going to come out until sometime next year? Yes.
Most likely, and
Yeah.
I would be surprised if it came out next year.
It'll come out next year.
It'll come out next year?
The first
I
chapter
hope.
will absolutely drop next year. It would be amazing if you can get Bottom Shelf written
And out by December.
and out by the end of the year.
I'm hoping for December for Bottom
I mean,
Shelf, which is
the-
a sort of omake ultimate cap
Yeah.
for the lighted stage. So technically more lighted stage content is going to be coming shortly-ish.
Yeah. We're getting close to time, so we don't want to take on too much. We will do another Q&A. We'll stay tuned to the Discord as always. You'll
if
post
you're-
to the YouTube as well.
And if you're not in the Discord yet,
The link.
the link can be here
Yeah.
if we can
I
make it in
should've-
time.
I should have prepared it.
It's okay.
I was gonna say one last thing for sure. Oh, yeah, no, because the plan is going to be, now that this is fucking over, I cannot believe in less than 24 hours, the lighted stage itself
Way
will
less.
be over.
Yeah.
You will be writing Bottom Shelf, and I will be reading and editing Epithets.
Oh, yeah.
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 That's going to be the next couple months for
Yeah,
us.
yeah. There's some suggestions that you could make.
Yeah. So I'm going to be in
writing,
editing
yeah.
mode for Cody, and then Cody's going to be in writing mode, and I don't do a damn thing in that other than going back through and making sure it makes sense. All right. What is time on you? 'Cause my time is
My time
different
is
than yours.
10:26, almost 10:27.
Mine is 10:28, so we've got like 4 asshole minutes left.
Yeah. Epithets. Epithets and Epitaphs is a sort of gothic thriller. I'm not going to call it a gothic horror. It's sooner a gothic thriller that takes place in the late 1700s.
Yes.
London, England. It's a period
period
gothic
drama.
thriller drama thingy that I wrote, and now I need to rewrite it.
In
But I'm
epistolary
thinking,
style.
fuck that. I can just make a copy.
So yeah, it's gonna be a self-published, completely original work. We will share more of that.
I've got a few of those that will inevitably come out as I am also tackling this whole JoJo
Yeah.
fan work thing. And
Part of the writing ahead thing is just so that he can get it out, done, and then he can focus on his own works. Because, like,
I'm really inspired, especially being able to be like, okay, yes, I can sit down and complete something.
it might take 6 years, but I
It's
can do it.
doable. I've got so many other projects, not fan works, original projects that I want to get off the ground. So I have like 3 things at least. I've got Epithets, I've got Bad Star, which was originally like a comic video game thing inspired by Earthbound, but I'm going to do it as like a junior adventure novel style of like little
It's gonna be cool.
novels. It'll eventually probably ideally come out in like a set about yay big. And then,
Very easy to read.
then Crowded Head,
Yeah.
which is going to be
Something.
yeah, it's very inspired by Monster. Urasawa Naoki's Monster. With all that said, we're going to have to close.
Yep.
You save all your questions for the other Q&A that we're definitely going to do because we didn't prepare for
Yeah.
enough time.
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie.
Yeah.
Sailor V.
We will see you guys around. Join the Discord if you're not already there. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you around.
Okay, I'll end the stream and then throw it back in. So, thank you guys. If you wanted to stay for a little bit and check out the marathon as it kicks off, it'll be